Cal Raleigh to the rescue.
So JP ready, the windup, and the 3-2 on the way to Cal. Swinging a well-hit ball deep to left field. Heading to the upper deck. Stay fair. Upper deck. Goodbye baseball. Number 50 for Cal Raleigh. He becomes one of only 33 members of the 50 home run club. And he reaches the upper deck like he did with home run number 48 yesterday. 49, he crushed off the out-of-town scoreboard. And the magical season just continues for Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, Rick just laughing at the absurdity of what Cal Raleigh's doing there.
That's why I love Rick Riz, man. I mean, there is nothing that is fake about that. That's just him enjoy. It's just pure joy.
Yep, pure
basically.
emotion there.
Almost started laughing.
Yeah, yeah, he was kind of chuckling throughout it, and he had a little extra oomph to that call, and for good reason. I mean, Cal Raleigh has been on another tear, and it feels like he's gotten out of that. You know, we were talking about what was happening with him leading into this series. The month of August hadn't been good, hitting under 200. He was, 1 for 19 with 10 strikeouts before the 2 home run game, and looks like he's got that stroke back. Number 50, only the second Mariner in Mariner history to go 50 or more, and that would be Ken Griffey Jr. being the other guy doing it. Back-to-back years, 56 home runs. But just amazing what he's doing, and you sit there and you daydream, all right, well, what other record could he break? What else is in store? And we'll go through some of those, but just really cool to see this the fact that he's doing it in front of the home crowd, and the building is packed. It's not a typical, Monday or Tuesday early in the season where there's not a ton of people there. Everybody's invested. First of all, in this playoff run in the team, but they're all invested in Cal, and he gets a chance to get that reception, which I think is really, really cool.
Yeah, no, it was so cool, and we're not the only ones here in Seattle enjoying that. I was watching MLB Network this morning, and they were saying instead of catcher in the rye, catcher in Seattle. Kind of corny a little bit, but
yeah, that doesn't really work.
And they did it like with a book, like a storybook. And his first homer, which was against Detroit, was on my birthday, 3/31. I like to think Cal hit that one for me, but
we'll see if he can hit one for me on September 9th. Then
there we go. And then you look at like he was just kind of going through some of the clutch home runs. April 11th, the score is tied 3-3 with Texas. Bottom of the 8th, he gets a 2-run home run, and then. You look at what he did at the All-Star game, obviously, and then just a bunch of, clutch bombs that he had. One of them in a game they lost to the Mets. It was an opposite field, 320-foot shot that he hit there. And what really just entirely impressed me last night was he started off 0-2 in that at bat. And then, he fouls a couple off, he lays off a couple, and then 93 in the bottom, inside corner, and just handles it. And I feel like if you're a pitcher pitching to him, I would just walk him. I mean, it's just ridiculous. His discretion, number one, and then, he's able to just cover the entire strike zone. So, yeah, it was really cool to watch that home run, and, it was early on and kind of got him started.
Yeah, it's just, again, amazing. And as we look up at the screen on MLB Network, there's the Aaron Judge, Cal Raleigh side-by-side comparison. And, where does one have the other guy? The on-base is substantially higher for Judge, so is the average. But the home runs and the RBI are in Cal's favor. So it's going to be interesting to see how voters treat this. Now they've got Cal as the odds-on favorite, and for good reason. Aaron Judge right now is strictly a DH. Yeah. So they start looking at the WAR number, which I think evened up yesterday. They got a 7.3 WAR, which should continue to skew in the favor of Cal because he's out there playing defense.
Yeah. And
doing it at a premium position on top of that, the most demanding position in all of baseball. And the other guy is not playing defense at all. Right. So that should go in his favor, and we'll see what goes on. But it's going to be interesting to see how voters treat this. We had John Morosi on yesterday, and I asked him about the perceived East Coast bias because we already had the preliminary complaints coming in on social media, like, oh, the East Coast bias, the Yankees going to get it because he's in New York and blah. So I asked him about that, and he seems to think it's nonsense. He thinks that the voters are well aware of every player that's not, oh, who's that Seattle team? Who's Cal Raleigh? They're well-versed, and they do a lot of research on these players. So he, according to John, who's been a voter, apparently it rotates. So like one year he votes for MVP, the next year maybe he votes for Manager of the Year, and so those awards, those votes rotate. So he's voted for MVP before, and he's just talked about certainly the amount of work he puts into researching everybody and, you know, comparing stats and coming up to a conclusion. But
well, and the cool thing, too, is this is a really good team, man, and everybody's paying attention to them. So it's not like, and, you know, all these clutch moments, you know, like bottom of the sixth against Milwaukee. He hits a dinger. They end up winning 1-0. I mean, it's not like he is in losing efforts, you know, going out there and, you know, hitting these majestic bombs. It's like he's doing it at the right time. And then, you know, you look at all the work that he puts in. The other thing is, I think people are kind of a little bit mesmerized by the fact that he is so humble. I think that's starting to catch on as well. Mm-hmm. Like, we all know that. And then last night when he was holding the guitar, you know, for the Veteran Cup thing, and he was just kind of like, hey, this is kind of cool, right? Yeah. I mean, he just takes everything in stride, but then also, you know, just all the work. He was sitting there
going, I don't know how to play this.
Yeah.
I don't know if he thought they wanted him to play something, or he's like, I don't know how to play.
Yeah.
What's funny is, or interesting, he's hit 25 home runs at home, 25 on the road. He's a better hitter on the road. You look at his numbers, but those numbers are exactly the same. Yeah. But he hits 269 on the road versus 225 at home. His on base on the road is 385. It's 319 at home. So those numbers, there's a fairly big difference there. But the home runs, 25, 56 runs driven in at home, 25, 51 on the road.
Yeah. Well, and I was listening this morning to Brock and Salk, and then they were talking about that. It's been 33 guys to hit 50 home runs in the history of Major League Baseball. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, this is over a 100-year game, and just the thousands and thousands of players that have played. And so, yeah, it's just it's a new milestone that I think, you know, Passan was talking about that this morning, that, I mean, it's incredibly impressive what he's doing right now. And so, and then, you know, the other thing is, at this point last year, or I'm sorry, in 2022, Aaron Judge was, you know, had the same number, right? So, you know, as he's on pace for 61 right now for Cal. And 131 RBIs, and which is the same as Aaron Judge in 2022. So, yeah, I mean, it's amazing what he's done. And then, look, I know Aaron Judge is a good baseball player just in general, but, I mean, all the stuff that Cal does. And then not to mention the wear and tear. So I think, you know, we've had this discussion maybe a month ago about the whole MVP thing, and now all of a sudden it's starting to boil back up again, which is very cool.
Cal, after the game, asked how it feels to hit 50 home runs in a season.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem real. I mean, 50 home runs, it's kind of crazy number to think of. It's, you know, it's kind of a big number just in general. You know, I remember thinking back, you know, I thought I was a you know, cool player when I hit 5, you know, and when I was young in high school or something, you know, you hit 5, you get all this power in the world. So it's crazy, and yeah, it's a cool number, that's for sure. Yeah.
He hit 5 in high school. I think he got all the power in the world. That's pretty cool. And then one more before we get into what's going on with the Seahawks. Dan Wilson, you know, putting this in proper context, we're comparing Cal to Hall of Famers, which you keep that in mind here.
It's really good, and you know, he's you know, already, again, you know, you think at some point he's going to get. You know, he's going to get to a point where you're not comparing him to people, but he's getting compared to Hall of Famers, and that means a ton. You know, being able to set the catcher mark, and that continues to go up, that bar continues to get higher, and then, you know, doing what he's doing. Again, just it's been super impressive all along.
Yeah, just remarkable. He's setting the bar really, really high. Because now next year we're going to be going, well, he ended last season with, I don't know, 58 home runs. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
That's the new standard for him. Like, oh, man, he kind of had a down year. He only hit 48. The bar has been raised so high. I mean, his career high before this was 34. He's at 50 now. So we're just, Yeah, it's amazing to watch what he's doing and sort of, again, daydreaming where it's going to end and what other records, a couple other records out there. Most home runs by a switch hitter is 54, Mickey Mantle, back in 1961. Right. That's on the list. The Mariners franchise record, as we said, is Ken Griffey Jr. hit 56 home runs in back-to-back years, 97 and 98. And then the most home runs in a single season in the American League is held by Aaron Judge, as you were just talking about, 62. So those are some of the records that are in front of him. We'll see if he's able to eclipse those.
Well, and just real quick before we transition here, I think the Mickey Mantle thing doesn't really resonate with people that much. 1961. I mean, I wasn't even born yet, Bob. But
I thought you were a teenager,
but
gallivanting around town.
But Ken Griffey Jr. I mean, everybody loves Jr.
So he's the greatest player in the history of this organization.
Yeah, and just beyond that, I mean, it's just like everybody thinks he's the coolest, nicest, greatest guy ever. And, now all of a sudden you think Cal is in that territory.
Yeah, I was daydreaming about the Cal statue that will be in front of T-Mobile Park.
Oh, boy, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
I was way ahead. Last night I'm going, I wonder if it'd be kind of cool if it was just him standing with all his catcher's gear on, like, kind of looking out at the field, menacing look, got the mask off, holding the mask in one hand, or maybe after he just threw somebody out at second. Yeah. That's pose where he's just looking badass like that. Otherwise, you got to figure out, all right, do we have him swinging from the left side or the right side?
Yeah.
A lot of problems when it comes to a statue like that. Meanwhile, the Seahawks, the roster cuts are out there for most teams. Seahawks are always very, very deliberate. They're very I don't know. They really take their time. Names are leaking out, but we don't have the full list yet. I don't really know why that is, but some of the surprises. This one wasn't a big surprise to me. You and I talked about this a week or two ago about MVS and talking about Horton, and does it feel like MVS is maybe competing with him? And it turns out he was. And I think the tell was how much playing time MVS had in the third preseason game with no starters out there yet. Right. He was out there a lot. So he's out. The big surprise, I know, for you and probably a lot of people, because this is a position we talked about not having a lot of depth. Patrick O'Connell, Patty O, done, out. Now, some of these people may come back in different, maybe it's practice squad, maybe who knows how it works. But the names we know so far, MVS, Patrick O'Connell, Damian Martinez, the running back, I think, seventh rounder?
Yep.
Ricky White III. Tyreek Smith was a little bit of a surprise. I thought he may have edged his way in there. And then Jamie Sheriff, another linebacker.
Yeah, and both of those guys played really well. Jamie Sheriff was one of those guys I think they're worried that might get picked up. But every one of these guys, they want to get back. And it's a calculation on their part where, and I would say this, that like most teams, I mean, Are you gonna re-sign some guy that is the equivalent of Jamie Sheriff from, the Houston Texans? Probably not, because you know Jamie Sheriff, and so for other teams, I think it's pretty much the same. Who they sign back on their practice squad, and to fill out the roster. Let's go with familiarity. And, John always says that, like, before the draft, it's very secretive. Nobody wants to tell anyone anything, but during this time, there's lots of information flowing, and I think most guys would rather have their own guys back. And so maybe Jamie Sheriff and Patio don't get picked up, and they can get him back on the roster. But the Seahawks, they have a pro personnel department, and I'm sure that they're out there looking around at different guys. And I would think it would start with, oh, we almost drafted this guy back, 2 years ago. Or this is a guy we were really close to picking, and then, he got picked, and we really wanted him. And, but I think for the most part, teams are going to sign back their own guys. But as far as I know, the offensive linemen that were drafted, which obviously Gray's able, but also it's Cabledew and Richmond. Mm-hmm. As far as I know, those guys made it through. The ones that didn't were, as you mentioned, White, Martinez. At least that's the information that we have. Yeah. And so,
and there's always, this is the other part we talked about, and it's true every year. We brought up Cason Williams. We brought up Troy Maine Pope. You bring up, guys, every year there'll be somebody that shines. Somebody you're going, whoa. This guy, look at this guy. Somebody that's not a star, certainly somebody that's not assured of a roster spot that really looks like they're doing everything. Yeah. I mean, good on them. They made the team, and lo and behold, we're sitting there after the cuts going, well, what happened to that guy? He looked great, and I would say more often than not, the Seahawks were kind of right that they didn't really go on to do anything, and it's not a knock on those guys, but it's not like, hey, you let go of this guy and he became a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
That's a rare occasion, and those two guys, I know Troy Maine Pope, I think, did he go to the Chargers or something?
Yes.
He had a little bit of run out there, and I think Casey Williams might have gone to the Colts, if I remember correctly, but nothing really happened. And so I'm not saying that's true of Patrick O'Connell or any of these other guys, but it's just there's always that guy or guys that shine in the preseason and you think they crushed it, and then you're stunned when you find out they got released.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I think this is one of the biggest surprises for me is the patio cut, because I thought he had a really good camp, and I thought, you put him out there, and they did have their number ones out there at some point, I think for a series or two as far as their offense goes, and it wasn't all Green Bay Packer number ones, but there were some, and he played really well. I thought it was one of the better preseason games. I mean, he's going to get picked up somewhere, and hopefully it's back here, because right now, as far as I understand, the depth is just Drake Thomas, behind Knight, who's been hurt, and then, EJ had the, personal problems. I think his father passed, and then, he had some stuff to take care of and all that. So it kind of makes you feel a little bit insecure, but the other thing you have to remember at inside backer is that, Anthony Bell is a guy that they can use in there who's a safety. So sometimes they take a guy out. Ty Okada made it, one-handed.
Had that great interception.
Yeah. But, on that play, who is running down the field with the seam route, who was a receiver that was like the first undrafted free agent to start a game in Green Bay for the Green Bay Packers. I can't remember his name right now, but it was Patrick O'Connell. He was stride for stride on that interception, running down the seam with him, and I just thought he did a ton. But look, maybe they'll get him back, and like I said, lots of teams that their whole mentality is, hey, I know this guy, I don't know this guy, let's just sign our guys back. So hopefully he doesn't get signed somewhere else.
Yeah, we'll certainly talk much more about what's going on with the Seahawks roster as more names become available. We'll get into that right now. Let's take two.
Well, Seahawks also made a trade earlier today. They sent Michael Jarrell to the Falcons for a conditional 2027 7th-round pick. Now, Jarrell was just their 6th-round pick a year ago, ended up actually making 3 starts last year.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting they traded him to Atlanta, and that was when they had to force him into action against the Atlanta Falcons in that game. And one of the best things I ever heard from a draftee was Michael Jarrell. And he was at Finlay, a Division II school program, and he said he didn't want to enter the transfer portal because he didn't want anyone else to get credit for his development other than the coaches at Finlay. And I was like, wow, this guy, honorable guy, but he was a project. They forced him in there. He actually did okay. So yeah, that was kind of an interesting one. But
did he have some down moments in this last game? I feel like I was watching a couple of plays where it looked like, and we always talk about how hard it is to judge O-line because you don't know whose responsibility is what. But there were a couple of plays where it didn't make him look great, whether it was his fault or not.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. And I thought there was a couple of times he got beat. So, yeah, maybe that was just something they were willing to give up. But what'd they get? Like a
7th
runner. Yeah. So, that's kind of a strange one. But there's somebody paying a lot of attention to all of those things and the talent and watching every single snap that Michael Jarrell took during camp and decided, hey, we'd be better off with the 7th rounder.
Well, a lot of news involving a Mariners division rival. So earlier today, the Rangers announced that Nathan Eovaldi is out for the season, the strained right rotator cuff. This comes a day after they put Marcus Semien on the IL with a broken foot. He's expected to be out for the year. Then they also, about 20 minutes ago, signed Dylan Moore to a minor league deal.
Yeah, good on Dylan. Yeah. We talked about it yesterday, speculating will he get another shot. I was like, I think he absolutely will. I'm not sure where, but now he goes to a division rival, and he's reunited with Rowdy Tellez in Texas. Right. So we'll see if they call him up there. They need a second baseman, and Rangers were making a run in that wild card, and now they're 5.5 back. And now you lose Eovaldi, so it's not looking good for them. But they were all of a sudden appearing when I was looking at the wild card standings. Going, whoa, wait a minute! They jumped over the Guardians, and they were making a move, and now 5.5 game spread could be a tough one.
And we're done with them, right? So I think, were we 8-5 against Texas, I think? Or
I don't know what
I
the-
feel
or
like it was,
9-4?
10-3 or
maybe it was
11-2.
10-3.
Yeah. They dominated the Rangers this
They
year.
did. They did.
Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. There were some signs that things are getting back to normal for Bryce Miller. We'll get into that coming up next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Cal swinging a well-hit ball deep to left field.
The season of Cal continues
Upper deck, goodbye baseball, number 50.
as Cal rewrites the history books and builds his case for MVP. This is where you hear it all.
Just trying to stay focused on the main goal, and that's winning baseball games.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports on 710 and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Start having fun. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Was drafted in 1999 by the Philadelphia 76ers, and that was just absolutely a dream come true.
Todd's playing in the NBA is unique. His battle with neuropathy is not.
I first started noticing problems a couple years into my NBA career, and I felt like my sock was just balled up right in the arch of my foot, and there'd be areas of burning and tingling, and then there'd be other areas of deadness where there would be no response to touch. We tried everything possible, from surgery to different drugs, to try and take care of some of the symptoms.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, non-drug, pain-free procedures that have helped thousands of neuropathy sufferers find relief.
Now I'm able to spend more time doing the things that I enjoy, being on my feet.
If you experience numbness, shooting, or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
Wyman and Bob from the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. You guys can weigh in on Seahawks moves, Mariners, whatever's on your mind. Go ahead and throw it out there, and we'll try to get to some of those. Meanwhile, taking a look at last night's game, we saw the second start for Bryce Miller since coming off the IL, and it was almost an exact duplicate, almost exact to his first start off the IL, just in the way of numbers. He went last night. He went 5 innings, 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 3 home runs, all in the same inning, 81 pitches. His first start against the Phillies, 5 innings, 4 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 4 Ks, 2 home runs, 85 pitches. I mean, it was right. He gave up 1 more home run, one fewer walk. It was 5 and 4.
4 fewer pitches.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost exactly the same result. And it wasn't. I give him credit in that inning was terrible. Then he locked it down after that. Problem was his pitch count got up and all of that, but he was able to stop the bleeding, if you will. It didn't snowball on him after what was a dreadful inning. And he talked about after the game where he feels he is after 2 starts after coming off the IL.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, I was out 2.5 months and basically like restarting and just without, spring training. And but really, I feel like the last 2 weeks I've thrown the ball well. It's been 2 good offenses that I've faced, and just been a couple mistakes, and not the results that I want or that I hoped for coming back, but I'm happy with how I feel like I've competed and attacked, and I think I've got ahead and done really well with the 0-0s, and I don't know what the 1-1s were today, but I feel like they were pretty good, and I feel like all the shapes are good on all the pitches. So,
I'll say this about Bryce Miller: he's handled it really well. I mean, he pitched 180 innings last year, and he had a 2.94 ERA. Yeah. And to come back, this year, and I know he wanted to build on that year, but the frustration of the injuries, and that's something that, and look, I don't, I'm sure he is frustrated by it, but he doesn't show it. We remember before his first outing off the initial IL. We talked to him down in the dugout.
Yeah.
And he just seemed he's very laid back and kind of takes it as it comes. But it's got to be frustrating for him because, you have a year like that. He's 12-8. I know we don't talk about their records, but I mean, the 2.94 ERA, 180 innings, you got to think, okay, I'm going to build on this the next year. And it's been kind of crappy for him. It's been really tough for him. And so when you hear him in the interviews and you see him out there, he doesn't seem to be frustrated. And that's where, I think the Mariners do a good job of getting, players with character. And it must have taken a lot because I'm sure this has been really frustrating for him.
Oh, it's in, start, stop, start, stop. It's hard to develop a rhythm. It's hard to find a groove. I completely empathize with what he's having to face. And hopefully this next start will be much more in line with who he was last year, who he's capable of being.
Yeah.
Ultimately, 5-4 is not going to get it done. You got to be better than that, and it's not to put unfair pressure on him because, again, as he touched on, he was out for 2+ months, and it's like just starting over again. So you give him some grace there, but we're down to 30 games, so every one of them means the world. You can't. You gotta be better, and it starts tonight with they were able to overcome it last night, which is great, and he was able, and more importantly, it was fantastic to see him bounce back from that inning because, again, the wheels were coming off, and you're like, oh, boy, this is awful. And he turned it around, and it looked like the bullpen you were going to have to dip into the bullpen really early. So he was able to give him some length, give him some innings, and come back and basically shut him down after that. And Dan Wilson talked about the importance of that.
A couple of harder hit balls tonight, but again, being able to come back from that and bounce back from that inning, I thought was huge, and that says a lot about Bryce Miller. I think each outing is going to get better and better, and you're right, he's been out for a little bit, but he has. I thought it was coming out of his hand good again tonight, and they were able to get to a couple, but he's. I thought he looked pretty good outside of that one inning.
Yeah, I mean, he's given up 10 home runs this year, and 5 of them have been in the last 2.
Yeah.
So it's just a tough go for him. But, yeah, you never hear him, sound like he's discouraged or down or anything. So that's very cool. But I'm really hoping that he gets back to the form here. And, I mean, that'll be like a trade at the deadline, basically getting a guy like that to the Bryce Miller that he was last year. That would be fantastic. Great timing.
Yeah, I mean, I think he can get there. I mean, the velocity looked good. The movement on the pitches, it's about command. It's catching too much at the plate, obviously, at times. They were squaring up some of those balls. So the stuff is there. He's just got to figure it out. He's got to give you more. He's got to be better in the remaining starts throughout these final 30 games. They need every one of these. It's not unique to him. I'm not picking on Bryce by any stretch. Luis Castillo, you got to get it together tonight. This has got to be the rock performance. It can't be who he's been in August, save for one start, where he's been 4 innings, 4 1/3. You can't have it. You got to give more than that. You got to be better than that. So that's got to start tonight because they're just too important. I mean, every one of these games it means so much, and it's fun and it's great. But when it doesn't go right, you feel that pain. It feels so much worse when you lose a game. At this point of the season, you see the Astros win a game. And by the way, Yordan Alvarez is back for the Astros. He's going to be with them tonight. So they're getting healthier. And you got a 1.5 game spread between you and them. And right now you're a playoff team, but you want that division. You need that division. It's got to start with your pitching. That's regardless of the injuries. And there's reasons why it hasn't been as good, but they're all there now. You got all 5 of your guys there now. You gotta be better than some of them have been as of late.
Yeah, it's funny, Castillo, if you look at his numbers, like he gets in these streaks where all of a sudden he's given up home runs. And if you look at the month of July, he didn't give up any home runs in any of his starts. That's 30 innings.
What was his ERA? It was like 2.05 or something. It was just phenomenal in July. And then you look at him in August, his ERA is over 6.
Yeah, it's 6.05
in 4 starts.
Yeah, and you got in the 4 starts, he's given up 7 of the 19 home runs, I think. But yeah, I mean, he just kind of goes through these streaks of he had another one back in in June where he gave up 7 home runs in 3 starts. So, yeah, I mean, he just needs to level out.
Yeah, and some of those, look, you don't want to give up home runs. No pitcher does. But some of them, somebody hits a solo shot in the first inning. You're like, all right, that stinks, but okay. Right? It happens. Happens to everybody. Woo just gave up. That was the only hit he gave up, or one of the 2 hits he gave up was an early home run. Solo shot. All right. That was the only run he allowed, and he gave you 7 innings. That's where I can live with Castillo. If he goes out there tonight, he gives up a home run in the first. It doesn't mean all is lost. It's, all right, what are you doing the rest of the game? Mm-hmm. Are you going to give him 6 innings? Can you give him 6 and 3 or less? Can you give him a quality start? That's what I'm looking for. How, solo shot here or there. Even, Bryce Miller was still in line for a quality start if he were able to hold it together with just those 3 shots. But I don't know. It's where they happen and where you at in the game. Early in the game, it's 1-0. Okay, not awesome, but it's not a backbreaker by any stretch. So, I'm hoping we see the old Luis tonight. You need him. Got to win this series. And to me, you got the toughest game out of the way. The biggest question mark for the 3 starters to me was Miller. Like, all right, that's going to be the one that I don't know. I don't know how I feel about their chances in this one. They're going up against another lefty. Miller's only making a second start. This might be one that they drop, so you feel like you got to get the next 2 with Castillo and Wu, and you got this one. So you got one under your belt that maybe you didn't feel like you were going to get. So let's win this series. Let's do it tonight. And then you got Wu going in Game 3. How about a sweep? Let's get greedy.
Yeah, let's call it now. Bob's calling a sweep.
Yeah, if they get tonight's game,
that'll be amazing because, and I don't know if you believe in matchups or not, but I mean, I thought, oh boy, okay, so that was kind of just a one-off series where they allowed only 3 runs in 3 games and swept the Padres at their place. But if they're able to get a win tonight, I mean, I kind of believe in matchups.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, in baseball, it doesn't typically make sense because you can measure everything. Whereas, like in football, it's like, yeah, they just have our number or whatever. But, yeah, if they're able to get that tonight, man, that'll be fantastic. But you know what, Bob? They've already clinched the Eddie Vedder Cup, so
yeah, that's right.
What do we care?
Yeah, they got the guitar. That's cool-looking guitar, Telecaster out there. Jen kept calling it a Strat. I was going to text her going, that's not a Strat.
Oh, is that right?
It's a Telecaster. But anyway, it's a cool-looking guitar. It's very cool what they did with it. They got the little plates on the front where they're going to engrave the names of the teams that win it each year and the logos on the back of the body. Looks really cool.
I like that we have somebody on this show that knows something about the trophy in the Vedder Cup. It's a Stratocaster, you said?
No, it's a Telecaster.
Telecaster?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that brand.
You have. Yes, you have. It's not a brand. It's a style. It's a body type.
Okay.
But anyway.
Well, there's that. I'm in same boat with Jen then.
That's right. There you go. All right. Coming up, bat throwing seems to be the new trend in baseball these days. We'll get in the latest instance of that coming up next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Cal swinging a well-hit ball deep to left field.
The season of Cal continues.
Upper deck, goodbye baseball, number 50.
As Cal rewrites the history books and builds his case for MVP, this is where you hear it all.
Just trying to stay focused on the main goal, and that's winning baseball games.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports on 710 and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Well, we were just talking about this weather, sunshine. This is motorcycle weather. It's pretty warm. For some people, maybe they don't ride in this weather. But you got to take advantage of these sunny days as a rider, and I've been doing it every single day that I can because it'll be raining and cold before we know it. But as a motorcycle rider, you do incur more risk than you would in a car. And if you're somebody that's actually been in a motorcycle crash, you've been injured, and you're talking to law firms, do yourself a favor. Do not settle for a law firm that says they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it. That's Law Tigers. They've been a part of the writing community for nearly a quarter century nationwide. They are available when you need them most. When you're in an accident, you've got to have somebody on the other end that can help you. They are there 24/7, 365 days a year, because riders deserve real support when they need it most. And Law Tigers is the resource riders can turn to when they're in need. Now, you see them everywhere. You see all of the events happening at all the shops, all the clubs out there. Law Tigers is there. You see the tents, you see the vans, certainly see the billboards everywhere. Law Tigers are always by your side. And even better, your case evaluation is completely free. There are no fees until your case settles, so they don't get paid until you get paid. You never ride alone with Law Tigers. They are Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bail Arm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bailarm.com today.
Why is Mazda of Everett the #1 dealer on the West Coast? Mazda of Everett is locally owned and operated for 20 years. They work hard to get you their best deal every time and to make sure you drive away happy. With over 700 new Mazdas, they stock more than anyone in the Seattle area. Find out for yourself why people keep coming back to Mazda of Everett. Take advantage of the Mazda of Everett price during the More to Move You sales event. MazdaofEverett.com. Claims based on Mazda USA inventory and sales reports.
We at 3 Tree Roofing understand that your home is your castle. That's why our certified technicians use state-of-the-art installation methods to deliver the highest warranties available. Check out our hundreds of online reviews and schedule a free estimate to see for yourself. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Don't miss the action at T-Mobile Park during the Stretch Run. The Mariners have a great slate of events and matchups on deck in September. Be here for the Logan Gilbert Funko Pop 3-day giveaway, September 8th to 10th against the Cardinals. And a star-studded showdown as Cal and crew take on Shohei Ohtani and the defending World Series champion Dodgers, the final series of the regular season, September 26th to 28th. It's time to seize the moment and pack the park. Lock in your seats today at mariners.com.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FREE to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FREE to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FREE to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FREE to 64,000.
Wyman Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Text line is there for you, 866-979-3776. You guys can weigh in on the Mariners. The urgency of tonight for Luis Castillo has not been good during the month of August. Weigh in on the Seahawks and what we know so far about that. Why do they wait so long to announce their cuts?
That's what they do every year.
I don't get it. What are they doing back there? Is it that they're trying to secure some of these guys for the practice squad? They don't want to make the announcement initially, or I don't know. I don't get the logic.
I think it's Dave Pearson. Dave Pearson is just kind of messing with us a little bit.
All right, Dave. Well, you can be helpful. I thought we were cooler than that, man, but I guess this is where we are. Meanwhile, the bat throwing, we're all familiar with that, as we're all still awaiting the punishment being handed down, or the appeal. What's going to happen in terms of that with Victor Robles. But last night, first baseman for the Cardinals, Wilson Contreras, threw a bat that mistakenly hit his own coach. And then he tossed bubble gum on the field. He was ejected in a game against the Pirates. So their manager was he didn't do it in a way that Victor did, where he's looking at the pitcher and goes overhand and fires it like he's throwing an axe or anything. He kind of flung it behind him, and it hit his guy. Yeah, as he was being dragged off the field, he was fired up and angry, and they're like pulling him off the field. And he's letting the ump know what time it was, and he had the bat in his hand the whole time. And then he kind of flung it behind him, not looking, and it hit his coach.
Well, I mean, I think he did kind of flip it in the direction of the umpire, but it did hit his coach, no question. How do you feel about, like, I finally got the video here, and I guess I was expecting more like something that we saw from Robles, but
yeah.
How do you feel about, like, if you, as Julian Love put it the other day, I thought it was very well put, that, like, when you see red, meaning, okay, like, you can't, I know that in my past, this has not happened in a long time, but where you punch something, and you're like, I know this is stupid, but I can't help it.
I'm compelled to do this right now.
I cannot help it, and that's where he's at. But then you see, coaches and people coming and grabbing him.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's the best way to calm a guy down, man. I mean,
well, they're trying to save him from himself, because if they think he's going to do something that could result in a really long suspension and fines, and you're trying to protect him from himself. I mean, you can't just let him go and go, hey, Wilson, don't do that.
I don't know. I think I would get pissed at the guy that was trying to hold me back. But yeah, I mean, he does look at the umpire, and he kind of flips it back. It's not like an overhand or anything like that. So yeah, and that was, and it did hit the coach. So I don't know if there's going to be some kind of a fine for that or whatever.
I would imagine there'll be something. Yeah, I don't know that it rises to the level of Robles, certainly, but you still have a bat. You still threw it, presumably in the direction of the ump.
Well, it's funny about
didn't hit its intended target.
Right. And the umpire actually, he throws it back and it looks like one of the assistant coaches.
Yeah.
And then the umpire is like, puts his arm around him like, oh, are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a good look. Not a good look. But he who did he hit? Was it the hitting coach or was it the pitching coach? I'm not sure which coach it was.
Yeah, one of the assistants. And,
Oh, it was their hitting Brant Brown.
Oh, is that right?
Brant Brown, their hitting coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there you go. He said, I apologized to him. I wasn't looking back. I just threw my bat back. So I couldn't tell where it hit him. But, yeah, that's dangerous. You can't do that. And I would imagine, if the ump's up there showing concern for him, are you okay, and all of that, there's going to be a suspension.
Yeah.
It might be 2 games. I don't know. But we'll see. Still waiting to see what's going to happen with Victor Robles. But meanwhile, taking a look at the Mariners and their standings each day, it shifts. 30 games to go. 30 games. It feels like yesterday I was going, Dave, 50 games left. There's just 50. Now it's 30. And then after tonight, we're in the 20s. That's how that works.
Man,
I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about 29 games. Then it sounds like a lot less, doesn't it, when you're in the 20s?
Oh, yeah. Well, when you get down and then you get into the teens, it's like, oh, my gosh.
It's crunch time, man, and it's all tight right now. They're a game and a half behind the Astros, who begin their series with the Rockies.
Yeah.
They've got the Rockies. They get Yordan Alvarez back. So you got to look at that. I'm just going to assume a sweep of the Rockies. You're 1 game behind the Red Sox for that number 1 wild card spot. You're a half game back of the Yankees for the number 2 spot. And so that everybody's within striking distance. All of those teams, you're right there. You've got to secure a hold on that 3rd wild card right now because there's a 4-game gap between you and the Royals, who were rolling. They're right on your heels, got up to 2 games. They're 5.5 in front of the Rangers, who were kind of falling back, and now they lose Evaldi. So we'll see what happens with them.
And the Royals got smoked by the White Sox. 7-0. So,
Yeah.
and I know that a lot of people were saying, well, that's the biggest threat. We're 4 games ahead of Casey for the
4,
wild
yeah.
card. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's good news, and hopefully they can do that again and just give the Mariners a little bit of a cushion there. But, yeah, they're going the wrong direction.
Yeah, them and the Guardians, because the Guardians were right there. It was like 1 game difference between, it was like the Royals were 2 games back and the Guardians were 3 games back, something like that. They were neck and neck right on the heels of the Mariners, and they've both fallen back, but the Guardians are in a bit of a free fall. Same with the Rangers, too, to a certain extent. So, yeah, you're getting a bigger cushion for that 3rd spot. But, let's be greedy. Let's not be satisfied with, we were talking to Ryan Rowland-Smith yesterday. It's not like, hey, you're in the playoffs. Cool. Now what?
Mm-hmm.
No. You want to get there and make some noise. So, get the easiest path is winning the division. That sets you up for the best run through the postseason, obviously, is winning that division. Yeah. And it's right there. So let's get that. But, yeah, the other 2 wild card spots ahead of you are half game and 1 game.
Yeah. Which is awesome, and somehow the Boston Red Sox have somehow become a better team.
Such a dumb team.
Become a better team since the trade deadline.
Yeah, and their fans are just insufferable. It's just everything about them is just ugh. Meanwhile, what do the Seahawks roster cuts say about the direction of their team this season? We'll get into some of that coming up next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Historic cow. Are you buying it? You like that? Historic
cow. Brock and Salk.
It sounds too much like Dangerous. That's my problem.
Morning 6 to 10.
Can you get to 54 to tie Mickey Mantle or pass him at 55 for switch hitting home runs in a season? Can you get to 56 or 57 to tie or pass Junior?
For me, it would be Griffin. Hitting in the Kingdome for those years, a totally different era from pitching. I think even Ken would go, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Only on Seattle Sports.
When your outside matches how you feel on the inside, that's kindness. And so I think that is the one thing that the Lee Johnson Auto family encourages us, is to be like really authentic and really be intentional in how we treat our customers and how we treat each other.
To have a good company, have a good culture, have a good crew that takes care of your customer base, you have to take care of your crew. You can't have miserable people and expect them to give a customer a good experience.
Walking in here, meeting some of the employees already before I was even hired on, welcoming me in, gave me a good indication what this company was all about. So if I were to make an hour and a half drive here and to have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
It's not a script. It's a belief.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Are you frustrated with those trendy weight loss shots and not getting the long-term results you really want? This is Dr. Ryan Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and whether you've hit a plateau, can't handle the side effects, or watch the pounds creep back after stopping, there's a better way. Our program has helped over 4,000 people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks without expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. Our doctor-developed program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast. Ready for real lasting results? Visit eastsideweightlossclinic.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Did he just say Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is half the cost and works twice as fast as weight loss injections? Well, if that's not reason enough, you don't risk the scary side effects or gaining the weight back as soon as you stop. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is natural, and it works.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, and you can do our program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men, too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed, all in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data, except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards, USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners get the big win last night, game 1 of their series with the San Diego Padres. They secure the Vetter Cup this year with that win, so they're looking to win the series now when they send Luis Castillo to the hill in game 2. He faces off against Dylan Cease. That starts at 5:30 right here with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch, Seattle Sports on 710. Game's just about to get underway here shortly. The Red Sox on the road against the Orioles. You got the Marlins playing host to the Braves. Guardians and Rays get together in Cleveland. Yankees play host to the Nationals. Be the Phillies on the road against the Mets. Twins taking on the Blue Jays in Toronto. Brewers and Diamondbacks in Milwaukee. And you've got the White Sox and Royals in Chicago.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Coming up at 4 o'clock, Charlie Furbush will join us in studio as he does each and every week. We were able to lock him down for another day in the studio with us. We've got El Hombre Michael Bradley joining us at 5 p.m. as he does each and every week. So stay tuned for all of that. Meanwhile, still awaiting the official release of...
Looks like it actually just has come out.
Has it come out?
1 minute ago.
Okay.
They sent an email. So I can send it your guys' way unless you have it there, but... looks like a couple other surprises. Satoa Lamea was among the guys waived.
Okay.
Among the ones we've talked about. So, yeah, it literally just came out. They must have heard you guys asking about it.
Yeah. Let's see. I think I got the email here. So they've got traded to Atlanta, Michael Jarrell. We talked about that. Veteran contracts terminated. Quentin Bohanna, Shamar Jean-Charles, Zach Triner, and then MVS. Veteran contract terminated due to injury settlement. Cornerback Tyler Hall. Let's see. John Reese Plumlee. It was a wide receiver. Linebacker Wesley Steiner. Waived injury settlement. Cornerback. Do you have it, Dave? Do you have the list?
Not quite yet. I'm just,
Isis Waxter.
Waxter, yeah.
Let's see. Reserve non-football injury. Jonathan Hankins. Riley Mills. Reserved injured. Wide receiver Steve Sims. And then reserved injured, designated for return, Christian Haynes. So he's on the injured list, but he's designated for return. And then just straight out waived, Tyrone Broden, Keedrain Callaghan, Anthony Campbell, Seth Coleman. I'm trying to see the more familiar names. You brought up Lamea. Surprised. Actually, that is a fairly big surprise because they used him out of necessity last year. And seemed to be a guy that's, certainly rough around the edges, but had promise. But he's been waived. Damian Martinez, we talked about. Patrick O'Connell, Jarek Reed, Jimmy Sheriff, we talked about. Tyreek Smith, we talked about. Tupatala, Ricky White, Demarion Williams, Jacardia Wright. There's the other one, which kind of knew that was going to happen, even though I thought he looked good. He had a nice. I would say he's got some good tape out there for other teams.
Yeah, I think it becomes very interesting watching. Believe it or not, the one I'm most mystified by is inside backer and how Mike McDonald looks at inside backers. And I know that John is very quick to make me realize that there's no way I would be kept on any team that he had as an inside linebacker. But, I mean, they're just looking for speed, man. I mean, it's... That, and I don't know, maybe Patrick O'Connell didn't have that. So, I think that, Drake Thomas does. Some of these other ones, though, like I said, I think they kept all of the offensive linemen that they drafted, right? I don't see any of those guys on the list.
Right. And some of the other names, like I was wondering about Shaq Griffin. I don't know if he was going to make it or not. See, it appears he did. He's not on this list. And same with the receivers, Derek Young.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him on here, and I don't see Cody White either.
Yeah. So
they're keeping 6 receivers then.
Yeah, I'm surprised because they kept. I think they have 5 tight ends that they kept, if I'm not mistaken. But I thought that would cut down on the numbers. But you just have to find different ways to to carry your roster, and not everybody does it the same, obviously. But, yeah, I thought that there might be some casualties at wide receiver just because the tight end, like I said last year in Kubiak's offense that he ran in New Orleans, 2 of the top 3 receivers were tight ends as far as yardage goes. So I'm not sure if that, if that's something that's different than what they've done in the past. But I don't know. I think a lot of people don't know who Michael Jarrell is, but I think that's kind of interesting that they traded him to Atlanta. And it also kind of, shows you that if you see him in a game and look at him, I mean, maybe he was somebody that they were thinking about drafting. And like I said, I think a lot of that for the pro personnel guys that put all of this time into, looking at guys at the draft, it might have been a guy that they were, they wanted to get him. They're like, damn. I mean, and I know Michael Jarrell's not like a big name, but like when you become attached to these players, you might come back to him if somebody's cutting him. And this is why I think what John Schneider always says is that they're more likely to exchange information for each other because everybody has their own different way of looking at it and the offense that they're running and defense that they're running. And, somebody might not, like a fullback. We're going to cut a guy. And then you have a team like, the Seahawks now that is a priority.
Yeah, you got two guys listed as fullbacks.
Yeah.
And Oots and Brady Russell.
Yep.
So they kept 6 receivers and guys we were kind of speculating about. Jake Bobo, he made it. Cody White made it. Derek Young, certainly. The tight ends, Elijah Arroyo, Barner, Callerup, Eric Saubert, O-lineman, Anthony Bradford, Bryce Cabledew, Charles Cross, Josh Jones, Abe Lucas, Olawatimi, Mason Richmond, Jalen Sundell, and Gray Zabel.
Yep.
So those are your O-linemen. And then as far as they've got linebackers listed, Derek Hall, Jared Ivey, Ernest Jones, Tyrese Knight, Boye Mafe, Uchenna Nwosu, Connor O'Toole, Drake Thomas. So how much of a surprise do you think it was to Patrick O'Connell? Do you think he was stunned, or do you think you've been there when these things happen. Do you think guys have a sense that I know I'm getting cut, or they get word perhaps early? I don't know. How does that usually go?
Yeah, I mean, I think they probably gave him some kind of indication. It's sort of interesting to me also because the fact that they had him in the production meeting and he came in there, and I think they were just trying to get guys. So the 3 guys we talked to, well, 4, we had Schneider, but then, it was George Halani, who's short on words, but
he's short on legs
too.
But he made it.
But yeah, he did. And then, we had Patty O in there, and I thought for sure that he was going to make the team, and and he went out and had a really good outing. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting, and I think that they probably give him some kind of an indication, but probably not tell him until the day of because you don't want any information getting out.
Yeah. Just taking a look at some of the other position groups. Cornerbacks, talked about Shaq Griffin, Josh Jobe. Nehemiah Pritchett was one I was not certain had a spot there, but he makes it along with Devin Witherspoon and Tariq Woolen. Your safeties, DeAnthony Bell, Kobe Bryant, Nicky Mamori, Julian Love, Ty Okada. D-line, DeMarcus Lawrence, Mike Morris. Were you certain he was going to make it?
I wasn't, and there's a lot about him that they like. I just haven't seen it yet from Mike Morris. And I know that he's a very versatile player, and they love that. But yeah, it's kind of interesting the insight. I mean, some guys are really easy to figure out why they like him, and then there are others that, the 2 linebackers, and I was kind of with Dodson last year when they cut him.
Surprised.
Yeah, and he was surprised too. He's like, I thought I was playing pretty well, and I guess I didn't really see him as being the problem. But Mike has certain things that he wants done in that defense, and he has a very keen eye for inside linebacker. And I always think it's interesting with him because if he's not a head coach and he had to be a position coach and he could go wherever he wanted and coach whoever he wanted, he'd be an inside linebacker coach.
Yeah,
there's no question about it. But they obviously got the right combination of guys last year, and with Tyrese Knight and EJ. So, yeah, that one was kind of shocking to me, and it's interesting that they like the Drake as much as they do.
Love
Thomas.
the Drake. Love the Drake. Well, Mike McDonald, this could be good news about the status of Tyrese Knight, and he was asked yesterday about that status for Week 1.
Tyrese, let's see him practice a full practice first before we start kind of making projections towards the game, but he's projected to practice next week in full, and we'll see how that goes.
I would think based on the moves they made here, they're feeling pretty confident about his return, right? I mean, if they thought he was not going to be ready for Week 1, would they have kept Patrick O'Connell?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely. I think they would have needed a lot more depth there. So, yeah, that one's kind of interesting. But also, they have safeties that they can use in that situation, and there's a lot of teams that are out there. And this is where I think it'll be interesting to see, where this ends up, because lots of teams are starting to go back to the fullback.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the Seahawks offense is really going to be advantaged this year with Robbie Oots back there and possibly Brady Russell, because there's a lot of teams that have these smaller inside linebackers, and Dodson was one of them. I mean, that guy was probably 215, 220 pounds. He could run like the wind, but now all of a sudden those guys are going to be overmatched. And I got to tell you, with Tyrese Knight and EJ, those two guys they don't look that big, but when you look at their weight, they're like 235, 240. They can take on fullbacks. They have that versatility there.
Taking a listen to some other things that Mike Macdonald talked about. He talked about, and this obviously could have affected, somebody else's job, the fact they're going to carry 3 quarterbacks on the roster with Jalen Milroe. And Mike Macdonald yesterday was asked if they will have 3 quarterbacks active on game day.
We've worked out both scenarios. We do mock during preseason. We do like mock who would be up, how would we handle it, just so we're with the new offensive staff, making sure we understand, hey, what it's going to look like once we probably get into the season. And then you toss around certain scenarios. So we've worked through both scenarios.
So what do you think? Do you think Milroe is going to be active one week, not active the next week, which probably gives the opposition a heads up that, all right, he could be involved in some packages in this game, and obviously if he's not active, not a concern. But any surprise there?
I don't think there's a surprise there, because I think it's, he was definitely somebody that they were going to use. And I asked John Schneider that in the production meeting. I was like, I put it this way. I was like, do you remember when you drafted Jalen Milroe? And he told me right after the draft that they're going to use him as a weapon. And so I think, and I asked him if has anything changed, because remember, Daniel Jeremiah was kind of pumping the brakes on that. Like, yeah, that's one of those things that sounds good upstairs, but when you get downstairs on the practice field, now all of a sudden it doesn't seem like such a great idea. And now you look at, they are very serious about that, but that's going to cause some problems as far as you're going to, not problems, but they're going to have to be careful about that, because, if you just were to have, just Milroe and Sam Darnold, and Darnold gets hurt, now he has to go in there. And you saw the other day, I mean, he is not near where he needs to be as far as a pocket passer.
Drew Lock is your better option, without question.
Way better. So now you're going to have to carry 3 if you want to do that, and then it just makes the rest of the game day roster kind of hard to manipulate. I mean, I don't think they'll do. I think they'll do it in a smart way, no question. But if they get some bad luck, you might be down to some players playing a different position. You know, and so interior defensive line. I mean, I don't know if that's ever going to be a problem for them, but it is kind of a risk. Because that's something that on game day you're going to have to make some serious decisions as far as keeping him on the roster on game day.
Some other things Mike Macdonald addressed. He talked about the practice squad evaluation and talked about the opportunities to make the cut process a bit easier. They know the guys that play a big role for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the guys that were here last year, you got, I think we have several examples of guys come up and playing great football for us. Cody White, Josh Jobe. You can go down the list of guys being ready. And you, as an organization and as the head coach, you take a tremendous amount of pride in how you develop your guys. And when you have the feeling when guys have an opportunity to come up and play in a game and you're excited to see them play, well, that's the way you want it to feel. You don't want to be like, oh, shoot, so-and-so's got to come play this game. No, you're like, oh, okay, this guy's been working his tail off, making plays in practice and on the look team and in special teams practice and all that. Let's go watch him play on Sunday and let's have him go help us win a football game. So that's the attitude we want to have.
Yeah, I'm just going through this, and anything jump out to you maybe somewhere on, you thought maybe he would get cut? I thought Brady Russell might be a casualty. just because of Robbie Oots. But I'll tell you what, that guy has made himself another one, receiver, Jake Bobo.
Yeah.
Initially, I thought, well, maybe he would be a guy that I love that they kept Cody White and Derek Young, but I thought, maybe with all these tight ends, that they're gonna maybe keep one less receiver. But yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, Brady Russell, maybe I just didn't appreciate how much he can do. But I thought maybe he might be a cut. And then
I thought Mike Morris, personally, because of what we just talked about. Just haven't seen him. He hasn't been healthy. I don't really, we're not seeing every moment of practice, as we say all the time. So obviously he's doing something that the coaches see that say, hey, this has got great value. This guy's going to be a player for us, which is great. I mean, they're the ones, that are seeing every moment of that. But just from the outside, when we're looking in and you're looking at, all right, how do you trim this roster? I'm looking at him going, he really has not done anything for this team to this point. He's had a hard time staying on the field health-wise. He felt like he could have been a cut, and that was a little surprise for me.
Yeah, and I think it would be really interesting to talk to Mike and John and even be able to look at film, like, why do you like him? What is it? Because, it's a lot of times, I don't know if you guys saw that, the clip, I don't know if I sent you the article or whatever, where Gray Zabel hurdles over the defensive lineman's leg and to get the block. Like, there's things like that happening with Mike Morris. That's the only explanation for that he is doing things that are special out on the field. So, and a lot of it is in practice and, one-on-ones or, maybe some random 11-on-11 scrimmage or whatever that, they're seeing those kinds of things from him. Because, like you said, DeMarcus Lawrence, Mike Morris, Murphy, Jaron Reed, and Leonard Williams. So, yeah, that one's kind of interesting. Another
Shaq Griffin was one I was not certain was going to make the team. MVS, I was not surprised. But the Shaq Griffin, we just hadn't seen much of him, and I know he played in this last game, but I didn't know if they just brought him in for camp, and he's a veteran voice. He's an insurance policy, but maybe, it was to get some of the other guys to step up. I don't know. I didn't know that his spot was certain by any stretch, but he made it. So had he been released, I wouldn't have been surprised by that.
I think another cool one is Jared Ivey.
Linebacker?
That dude, outside linebacker. He played really well. And, I think he's one that is, I think, more because of just the personality that he has. He's known as a dog, a guy that will go out there and fight you. So that one was kind of interesting. Safety, DeAnthony Bell, we don't really know that much about him other than, what we saw in the preseason. And then everybody saw Ty Okada with the one-handed interception. So, and then, got to say it, Bob, you've got Chris Stoll is a good long snapper, but Michael Dixon and Jason Myers. And you know what? Jason Myers made a tackle in the Kansas City game, and I will never forget that.
Now you like him.
Yeah.
But now you're saying he's a football player.
But Michael Dixon, with an average, and I think it was around 48, was his net punting average, and it was like third best in NFL history.
Yeah. He's a weapon. He's a weapon. They signed him to do the extension. They drafted him, in the 4th round?
Yeah.
So, he's been a weapon, flipping the field and doing a great job with that. One more from Mike McDonald, just talking about Jalen Milroe. We talk about his spot certainly on the roster. Is he going to be active every week? What's the plan for him? And Mike McDonald sort of outlines the plan they've got for him during practice each week.
Yeah, of course. I mean, well, first of all, he needs reps, as does Drew. And, we're going to have plays for Jalen and game plans, and he's going to rep those are the ones. However we build the package for him going into games, he needs those reps and walkthrough and full speed. So that's going to be important. How we do it, who gets how many reps, all that. I mean, obviously, Sam, it starts with how many reps he needs to get ready, and then we kind of work off from there.
So we talked to Jalen Milroe in the production meeting. Amazing. He's one of those guys that you'd almost rather listen to him talk than watch him play because the things he says are so wise. But, one of the things that's going to be really difficult for him as a rookie, not getting reps. I mean, you want to get Darnold and Locke ready to go every week. And so, he's going to, have to play scout team, and then all the reps that he's going to have to look at. Now, there's probably going to be different kinds of plays that are just for him, because I don't think you're going to have either of this, Darnold or Locke running the read option, or, doing the tush push thing. But So they have to have some, but it's not a lot. So all the reps that you take, you have to do it by watching it and then looking at film and just trying to insert yourself in that situation, because like I said, they had a lot of drop back passes for him that are just, he's not a pocket passer.
Yeah.
At least not yet in the NFL. They're going to make him one. So,
well, and he's definitely got to, if they're going to use him in packages where they're going to ask him to run the ball, he's got to get that ball security in check. That was a poor display. Three fumbles lost. Can't have it.
And one of them was the snap, and it was it was a little, but it was his right shoulder.
He was there.
No, he should have had it.
Yeah.
I'm saying it wasn't like right on his number, but it was where his shoulder pad was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think what happened there is that he was looking downfield already. So, just like a receiver that doesn't secure a ball before he, turns upfield. And that's what happened there. But I mean, look, he's a very mature guy. I think he'll mature quickly, but it's going to be a lot harder for him from here on out because he's not going to get the reps in practice.
Yeah, and nor should he. I mean, it's
you got to get your.
If Sam Darnold's like, look, I need as many as I can get because he had
he's
4
new.
for 4 in preseason, which is great, but 4 passes. He's new. He's a new guy in a new offense with new pieces around him and a new coordinator. So, yeah, I want him to take as many reps as he thinks are necessary. And if that comes at the expense of Drew Lock and Jalen Milroe, too bad.
Yeah.
He's the priority. He's whoever the starter is, they're the priority.
Yep.
So, yeah, you're right. It'll be certainly as a rookie even harder for Milroe, but I don't know how often they're going to have him passing in any of these packages they may have for him. I would assume the threat of a pass is there, but it's more often than not going to be to run the ball.
Yeah.
So maybe it doesn't impact him as badly as it otherwise would have if he were more of a traditional drop-back passer.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the guys that they drafted that they waived, and some are from a couple of years ago. I guess you can count Tyreek Smith because they did draft him, in 2022, I think?
Yeah, was he Ohio State?
Ohio State guy, yeah. And then Ricky White from this year. Who else? Jarek Reed was a draft choice at one point. So Damian Martinez, obviously, and then interesting. You look at they kept the Callerup kid at tight end, and Marshall Lang was a casualty. He was one of the other tight ends in that situation. So nothing that really blows you away. Rabel asked me, he goes, what do you think is a surprise cut? And I said MVS, but I said, don't make me the Grim Reaper, okay, Steve? I mean, this is ridiculous. But, I mean, I thought maybe that was a guy, and then, once you saw him on display, it was like, okay, coach is giving him a chance to get some film so he can go and prove that, he is still, what he was in the past.
All right, coming up, what do we want to see out of Luis Castillo tonight? We'll get into that coming up next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Cal swinging a well-hit ball deep to left field. The season of Cal continues. Upper deck, goodbye baseball, number 50. As Cal rewrites the history books and builds his case for MVP, this is where you hear it all.
Just trying to stay focused on the main goal, and that's winning baseball games.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports on 710 and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Swedish Cyberknife. We had Andy Ryder. He's the mayor of Lacey, but he's also a Swedish Cyberknife patient. We had him and Dr. Landis in the studio a couple of weeks ago, actually. And one of the things that stood out about Swedish Cyberknife, number one, the treatment. It only takes 5 sessions. Andy was able to complete treatment in 1 week, Monday through Friday, while continuing to work full-time, and each treatment session lasts less than an hour. So he was able to remain comfortable during treatment. You can wear your street clothes in, didn't experience any side effects other than being a little bit tired. But if you compare that with other treatment methods where you have to have surgery or have a catheter, I mean, it's night and day with Swedish Cyberknife. Also, it was really cool to see the relationship between Andy and Dr. Landis. Andy holds him in very high regard, and rightfully so. Dr. Landis is a multiple-time recipient of the Seattle Top Doctor Award. And we talk about building a sports team and trying to find stars and superstars. Swedish Cyberknife truly has that. It's an all-pro roster of doctors and world-renowned experts in their field, just like Dr. Landis. Swedish Cyberknife treats patients from all over the state and you don't need a physician referral. You can reach out to them directly. So if you've been diagnosed with prostate cancer, go to Swedish.org/cyberknife-prostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath. You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple one-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Immaculate greens, unrivaled natural beauty, championship caliber conditions. Loomis Trail is the epitome of Northwest golf. With water in play on nearly every hole and tree-lined fairways, Loomis Trail provides a fantastic golf experience for those that want a challenge and those looking for a fun getaway. What round are you up for? Tee times available online at golfloomis.com. Start planning your perfect golf getaway today.
This hour of Wyman Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Mariners get back to it tonight. Game 2 of their series with the San Diego Padres. Luis Castillo on the hill in Game 2. You got Game 1, one that I think if you were going to pick at least one of the three and say which one are you feeling the least confident in, for me it would have been last night. Just because Bryce Miller, not knowing what you're going to get, it's only his second start off the IL, and he was almost exactly what he was in his first start. But they were able to overcome what happened in the second inning. He was able to lock it down after that, and they came away with a win, which to me is gravy, because these are the two I look at with Castillo going tonight, Wu going tomorrow. Those are the ones that are the more likely wins. But maybe that's a stretch saying that about Castillo based on how he's pitched in August. And he's got to be better than he's been in 3 of the 4 starts this month. Again, we talked about July. He was nails. July, you look at it at 2.05 ERA. He wasn't giving up home runs. He was locking teams down, giving them some length. And then you go to August, and it's 4 points higher, 6.05 in the month of August. And 2 starts, he's only gone 4 innings. Another start, he went 4 1/3, and then he had one really good start in between. So he's got 1 good, 3 really not good. So to say the least, he's got to be better than that. And he's got to, whether the offense can back him up or not, we'll see. But he's got to do his job. Give us a quality start. I'm not saying you got to go out there and shut him out or hold him to 1 run, but if you can give him 6 and 3, I don't think that's a big ask from a guy who's, at one point your opening day starter, you're the number 1 guy in your rotation. He's still the Rock. He's still a guy with the resume. I think that's a fair expectation to give us 6 and 3.
Yeah, I think we talked a little bit about him earlier. That he's kind of known for giving up the long ball, the home run, and over the last month, he's given up 7. The other thing is he's not a high strikeout guy, right? I mean, you don't see him just blowing people away with strikeouts. I mean, the last 4 games he had 2, 5, 5, and 4, and usually you see like Logan and George get up there, close to 10. So, but he's been really solid, and so that's what we need as far as going into this playoff stretch here, especially. Like you said, man, pretty soon we're going to be down into the teens.
Yeah,
looking at these games remaining.
Yeah, it's going quick. Every one of them means the world, as we've talked about over and over. So, we don't really have any slack. There's no real slack and I mean, look, off nights are going to happen. Not every one of these starters is going to go out there and throw a gem the rest of the year. There's going to be a dud in there, and hopefully the offense can pick them up. They're going to lose games. They're not going to go 30 for 30, even though that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, so there's going to be some of those. But, man, it's just especially – look, it'd be one thing if a guy just is rolling, and he finally – hey, man, he had an off night. Okay. You're going to – if Wu goes out there tomorrow, and I'm certainly not speaking this into existence, but if it was the first game he didn't go 6 and he got touched up, okay, yeah, bad timing because we're toward the end of the season, but the guy has been ridiculously consistent. It's going to happen. Luis has had his 3 this month. I think it's time for him to revert back the other way. And again, I don't think it's an unfair ask. Give us 6. Give me 6 innings. Give me 3 or less. Just give me that quality start. Doesn't have to be 7-1 like it was for Wu in the last start, or 13 strikeouts like you just saw from Gilbert. I mean, again, each one of those guys in that series against the A's, each one of the starters, even with Kirby a little wild, 3 walks, still only allowed 1 run and gave you 6 innings. So Luis is more than capable of doing that.
Yeah, it's funny also, we were talking earlier about Bryce Miller and his personality and how much that matters, because you can't get rattled out there. And that's the thing about Castillo, that he just you never see any emotion on that guy's face. But yeah, this is the time when he needs to start to come on here. And I think this year, been counting on the pitching getting back to where it was last year, and maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe it should. sometimes you have off years, and maybe it'll be one of those where it's just not quite as strong. But boy, they finished strong last year, and that's just the recipe for the playoffs, right?
Yeah, and this is the first time in the season where you've had all 5 of your guys, right? Somebody's been gone of the regular 5 all season long until Bryce Miller came back for his last start. Not last night, but the previous one. That was the first time all season you had all 5 of your guys in the rotation there and healthy, ready to go, presumably. So it doesn't get better. You don't have better options. These are the guys. These are the ones that need to go out there and get it done. And you're asking for them to, at the end of a season, I know it's tough. You throw in a lot of innings, some of these guys, and obviously Bryce Miller has been dealing with the injuries and rehab and all that. So you got a lot of different circumstances, and maybe fatigue sets in with some guys at some point, but this is where you got to bite the bullet, man. This is where you got to clamp down and ride this to the end, because there's just too much on the line. Maybe it'd be different. There wouldn't be such a feeling of urgency if this were a city where, like the Seahawks, like you feel like they're in the playoffs pretty much every year. Okay, they didn't make it last year. It wasn't a national tragedy. Seahawks fans weren't going, that's it, I'm sick of this team. You're in the playoffs just about every year. You've been in the Super Bowl multiple times. You've won one. So maybe if you had that history, we wouldn't be so at least I wouldn't as a fan be so uptight about, look, every one of these moments counts, and you got to capitalize. You can't let down now. You got to grind till the end. Maybe I'd be like, all right, maybe it's not their year. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'd be much more relaxed about it. I'm not relaxed about this, Dave.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is kind of unsettling, and then they got Yordan Alvarez back, obviously, in Houston. So that, you think maybe they start to pull away a little bit. I still think that they should, suffer some consequences here from all the injuries, but it just doesn't seem like it's really affecting them that much. So, but yeah, this is a time when I wonder if, like, for Jerry, over the years, like, it's a different regime. Like 2015 is when he came in, right? Mm-hmm. And so whenever he's talking about, like, being patient, everybody's like, we haven't had a playoff team in 22 years, once in 23 years or whatever. And he's probably gone, well, I wasn't part of that, So maybe we can be a little bit patient, but this year it doesn't matter because they went for it on the trade deadline.
Yeah, and again, we can't use that word patient. Even if it's once in 10 years, he can say, look, that history before me that's not me. I didn't do that. And he's right. But, and I'm not saying he's saying this, but the argument saying, well, he did make it once. Yeah, once in a decade is not a great track record. That's not great. You got to be better than that. They've had more. Again, last year you had arguably one of the best rotations, if not the best rotation in the history of this franchise, and you miss it by a game. And we talked about how they didn't capitalize on 2022, what they did in the offseason going into 23. There have been mistakes made, big mistakes. So I don't know that, hey, that didn't happen while I was here isn't any ground to stand on. Once in a decade, that's not a good ratio.
Well, I'm just asking Mariner fans to be patient.
That's a bad idea. I don't co-sign that. That's a bad idea.
866-979-3776. Go ahead and let me have it. I don't care.
That's 100% Dave Wyman. I do not co-sign that. Coming up, Cal's record-breaking season wouldn't have happened without one key change at the plate. We'll hear about that when we sweep the dial. Coming up with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
He's the best catcher in baseball.
Pitch to Cal, swing and a drive.
And he's on Seattle Sports, Thursday afternoons all season long. It's the Honey Bucket Cal Raleigh Show.
Presented by the Puyallup Tribe of Indians.
More history for Cal Raleigh.
I love being here and all these fans in the city.
Catch every episode of the Honey Bucket Cal Raleigh Show, presented by the Puyallup Tribe of Indians, on the Seattle Sports YouTube page, the Seattle Sports app, and seattlesports.com.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman here, and honesty and integrity is what sets Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine apart from others. And I've been working with Dr. Wagner for a couple of years now, and he was straight with me. My right knee, Bob, it needs replacement, and not all doctors will give it to you straight. And after hearing me talk about Dr. Wagner, you decided to go and see him for yourself. And what was your experience like with your hip?
Well, he was exactly the same way with me. I went in, I had multiple issues with my hip, had a torn labrum, frayed tendon, arthritis developing, bursa sac was inflamed. Everything was going on. And he said, look, this isn't going to fix everything, but it's going to go a long way into helping you. So I was like, let's do this, because I'd heard you talking about all these success stories with people opting for this prior to surgery. I was like, well, why not? Worst that can happen is it doesn't work, and then I end up with surgery anyway. But I'm happy to tell you it is night and day. I can actually sleep now. I can actually find ways to get comfortable. I can walk. I mean, it was really, really problematic, and it's gone a long way into helping me.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I really think the fact that he was straight with me, because, you know, sometimes when you're a doctor, if they have the old saying, if you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I can't really help you with that. So he will give it to you straight. So, hey, whether it's a shoulder, a hip, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Seattle, your waterfront park is here. Celebrate the opening of 20 acres of world-class public space on the downtown shoreline at the grand opening celebration September 6th. Enjoy free live performances, family activities, cultural experiences, and more across the entire park, from Overlook Walk to Pier 62. Join Friends of Waterfront Park in the city of Seattle for this once-in-a-generation event. Be part of history. Plan your visit at waterfrontparkseattle.org.
Now is the time. We talk about it year-round, but roofing season really is upon us. It's Mike Salk here. So what makes it roofing season? Long, dry days where roofing crews can work realistically sun up to sundown. They're cranking out projects all over our region, and Riverside Roofing is, of course, leading the charge. Local to Marysville, Riverside Roofing serves the entirety of Western Washington. They do amazing work. They've earned my recommendation, plus industry awards like GAF Master Elite's President's Club, a status fewer than 1% of roofing companies in the entire country actually achieve. Get a roofing quote in less than 60 seconds using Quick Quote directly on riversideroofingllc.com. It'll pop up as soon as you go on their website. During and after your roofing job, you can expect a yard and driveway totally clean of debris. Behind their national accolades is a family company from right here in Marysville, built upon important local values like trust. That's why Riverside Roofing is the local roofing company you can trust. Go to riversideroofingllc.com.
Scanning the airwaves for the most interesting and entertaining stories of the day. Sweeping the dial. Every afternoon at 4:45 with Wyman and Bob.
Presented by Silver Reef Casino Resort.
So this recent surge of home runs for Cal, they've all come from the right side of the plate. He's hit 20 home runs this season from the right side. He's actually slugging better right-handed than he is lefty. And after the game last night, he broke down how he's really found his timing from that side of the plate this season.
I think I'm just doing a better job of getting on time. I'm getting my hands back sooner, which has helped. Getting ready to hit early, and I think for a little bit there, I was just wasn't getting my hands back in time, and obviously with a solid approach up the middle, that always helps too. So I'm just trying to slow it down, get ready to hit, and get those hands back. So.
Yeah, I noticed that. He was doing a terrible job of keeping those hands back.
Yeah, getting them back, and he was getting beat by the fastball. Wasn't getting that foot down, but no, I mean, he's got his timing. He's got swing looks just as good from the right as it does the left. I mean, he's a natural right-hander,
right?
But you see him hitting from the left side more often for the most part. But he's equally as dangerous from both sides, which is problematic for the opposing team. If they want to bring in a reliever and he's on deck, it's like, well, what's the point of bringing in a lefty and turning him around? He's just as dangerous there, so let's just stick with the guy we got. I mean, it just creates a whole different level of decision making for the opposition when you as opposed to a guy who mashes lefties. Yeah, he can hit right-handed, but he's not nearly as potent that way. You got a problem with Cal.
I'll tell you what, that was one of the more impressive of his home runs. Just maybe not the majesty of some of those that go off the Hit It Here Cafe and things like that, but he starts off 0-2, works his way back, lays off of pitches that were outside, and then he gets the down and inside and launches that. I mean, it's very impressive, more so than him actually hitting the home run. To me, it's just like he can hit any pitch, and it seems like he knows what's coming.
Sweeping the dial.
The Mariners' 5-run fifth last night came with 2 outs in the inning, and Dan Wilson after the game discussed just how important it is to be able to put together stretches like that.
Yeah, I guess five runs with 2 outs there in the fifth, and I mean that's huge, and again shows how those guys play, how they fight, and they get to runners on, and even with 2 outs, they're looking to score, and some really good at bats there in that inning, and that's how you fight, you play, and you win consistently this time of year is by putting together those kinds of innings.
Yeah, it's big. You can't rely on the home run.
Yeah,
exclusively, and I think they were talking about it last night on the broadcast that the Mariners lead Major League Baseball in runs produced by the home run. The majority, the percentage of their runs produced by home runs, they're number 1 in the league. So they do rely on the long ball, and when it's not there, we've seen them go flat. And you got to be able to manufacture runs. You got to be able to string hits together. You can't make silly mistakes on the base paths. So they were showing that in that situation with 2 outs, they're able to manufacture runs, and that's huge because you're not, especially when you go into the playoffs, you're facing the aces of every rotation. You're facing the best of the best that team has to offer, and runs could be hard to come by. So you got to be able to scratch some out there.
Yeah, that was so refreshing to see that because, the first hitter was Rosarena. He strikes out. Raleigh gets hit by a pitch, and then, Julio grounds out, and then with 2 outs, all of these things happen with Naylor, singling to left to bring in Julio, and then, Polanco was just huge, and then Crawford, of course. It was awesome to see that, and I guess after the inning, I was like, oh, wait, they didn't hit a home run there.
Yeah.
Sweeping the dial.
Yesterday, Mike McDonald was asked if Uchenna Nwosu will be able to play Week 1 against the 49ers.
No, I don't. It's just let's see how it goes. We're still 2 weeks away. He looks great. He's in great spirits. We're on the progression, but we got to kind of play it day by day at this point.
Yeah, I wonder if Uchenna doesn't. I wonder who would be next in line. I guess maybe that Jared Ivey kid.
What is his injury now?
What was it, Mike? I know he tore his pec.
Uchenna?
Yeah, that was last year.
Yeah, he's still coming back from that, right?
Is that what it is still?
No,
Anyway,
I thought it was something different than that. I thought it was a separate.
I saw him working out in Green Bay, and he was out there in like full pads and everything, and they were putting him through certain things. Now, of course,
torn quad.
Oh, is his quad?
That's the most recent one.
Yeah, I mean, that dude is too strong for his own body. He's tearing muscles like that. But I saw him working out, and it looked good. So hopefully, but I think that's one of those where Mike's like, I don't have to tell you that, so I'm not going to tell you that. But Uchenna, he's huge. If you go back and look at 2023 when he got that pec tear, it was ridiculous how the entire defense just took a huge nosedive, especially against the run.
Yeah. I mean, he's crucial to what they want to do. He's just got to be available. I mean, he's had, he's missed a lot of time since he's been here. So you need that guy out there on the field. Meanwhile, I just saw a little bit of news. Wilson Contreras, who we were talking about the bat flip that he hit Brant Brown, his own coach, with a bat. He was suspended for 6 games and an undisclosed fine. So
he looked back like he was trying to hit the umpire. So I don't know. Do you think that they? We instantly start thinking about Robles, right?
Yeah.
So do you think maybe that's the standard?
I don't know. I will find out. It seems to be taking a long time, but there doesn't seem to be any method to the madness. This hasn't happened before. I don't know what their time frame usually is for responding to an appeal.
I wonder if with Major League Baseball, is it worse to throw the bat at an umpire than a pitcher?
I would think so.
You would think that they would protect those guys, right?
Well, plus they're right there. You're right next to the ump. So the chances of hitting them are much easier than throwing it 60 feet, 6 inches from home to the mound.
Yeah, it's like, come on. He can't make that throw.
Yeah, so I would say, and plus you want to protect the umps as much as you can, but he's 6-game suspension. He plans to appeal it, so we'll see if it gets trimmed to 5 or 4, what happens there. But yeah, the Robles punishment has yet to be handed out. I guess it could pop any time. I don't know. It's weird that there's no real formula to it or no schedule. They're like, all right, within a week we're going to know, within 2 days, 5 days, whatever. Could just pop up at any time, so stay tuned.
I don't know what it is about Robles. I love watching him play. I like his batting stance. I like the way he runs. I like the way he plays in the field. I mean, he just is an exciting player.
I like his eye black.
Yeah.
He's got the cool design, and he's got parts of it cut out. Yeah. It's very, very exact on both sides, and everybody's getting creative with those now. You got Polanco, who's got like multiple colors going. It's kind of going black into a darker blue into a lighter. It's like 3 different shades there.
I got to say that I wasn't a big uniform guy, and one time I had a little towel that somebody made me that said 92 on it, but usually I wasn't into that part of it, but I always put eye black on.
Yeah.
It was like I have to do this before I get on the field. And lots of times I didn't need it, especially in the Kingdom.
Yeah.
But I just had
bright lights in there.
Well, yeah. I had to have it. That was part of my routine.
Part of the mentality, man. Yeah. Part of the mentality. All right, coming up, Charlie Furbush joins us for the next hour as he does each and every week. We'll talk Mariners, talk Cal, everything under the sun baseball with Charlie Furbush. He joins us next. It's Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Cal swinging a well-hit ball deep to left field.
The season of Cal continues.
Upper deck, goodbye baseball, number 50.
As Cal rewrites the history books and builds his case for MVP, this is where you hear it all.
Just trying to stay focused on the main goal, and that's winning baseball games.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports on 710 and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Why is Mazda of Everett the #1 dealer on the West Coast? Mazda of Everett is locally owned and operated for 20 years. They work hard to get you their best deal every time and to make sure you drive away happy. With over 700 new Mazdas, they stock more than anyone in the Seattle area. Find out for yourself why people keep coming back to Mazda of Everett. Take advantage of the Mazda of Everett price during the More to Move You sales event. MazdaofEverett.com. Claims based on Mazda USA inventory and sales reports.
I'm Chris Davis, former King County prosecutor and founder of the Davis Law Group in Seattle. If you've been injured in a crash caused by impaired or drunk drivers, there are special considerations that need to be taken to protect your legal rights. Davis Law Group's team of investigators and lawyers know how to properly investigate DUI crashes and identify all parties who might be legally responsible for your injuries and damages. Call Davis Law Group at 206-888-8888 or get my free book at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you. which means you'll save hundreds for your business. And get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 10/9/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of 1 unlimited intro line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. 1 discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners get back to it tonight after a big win in Game 1 of their series with the San Diego Padres, securing the Vetter Cup for the season. They look to win the series tonight when they send Luis Castillo to the hill. He'll face off against Dylan Cease. You can catch it all starting at 5:30 with the pregame show, 6:40. First pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710. Right now, games going on top of the third, or headed to the top of the third in Baltimore. Red Sox out in front of the Orioles 1-0. Bottom of the first in Miami, Marlins and Braves tied at 1 apiece. Guardians out to a 3-0 lead over the Rays in Cleveland. That one in the top of the second. Meanwhile, baseball news, first baseman Wilson Contreras has been suspended for 6 games and fined an undisclosed amount for his tirade during the Cardinals' 7-6 win over the Pirates last night. He has informed Major League Baseball he plans to appeal the suspension, which means it will not take effect immediately. He is in the lineup for tonight's game against the Pirates.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
He's with us as he is each and every week, spending an hour in studio talking some baseball. Former Mariners reliever, part of a combined no-hitter, forever etched on the wall of T-Mobile Park, headed into the visitors' locker room. He is Charlie Furbush. How are you, man?
I'm so excited. How are you?
You're so excited.
He's all hopped up on Red Bull is what's going on.
Oh, boy.
You know, having a little sugar-free Red Bull.
We're going to have to get a seatbelt on that chair.
It's gonna get exciting this hour, guys.
That was a big win last night. Look, we were talking about this series. First of all, very tough team who's sitting there coming into this game tied for first with the Dodgers. And I'm looking at the 3 starters going, okay, you got Bryce Miller in his second start off the IL. You got Luis Castillo, and then you got Wu. Want to win the series? I feel like it's going to be the second, too. Just because Miller, you don't know what you're going to get. And what's amazing is you got almost exactly what you got in his first start. 5 innings, 4 runs. He gave up 3 home runs as opposed to 2 in the last start. 1 fewer walk. Essentially same thing, 4 pitches fewer. What did you take away? Did it seem dramatically different to you? I liked the way he was able to lock it down after that dreadful second inning, but overall, compared to the first start, what was the difference to you?
Not that much. I thought he did a tremendous job just continuing to, come out of these innings strong and healthy. And yeah, I think just a different, honestly, like mentality in a lot of ways. It kind of feels eager to be out there. I know when you're hurt and it's been a while since you got on the field, you're just so excited to get back. And I thought Bryce just did exactly what we expected of Bryce in a lot of ways. I think, it's always tough when you come back from an injury, what the outcome is going to look like. But there's a lot to like about his stuff, and the fact that he's giving the team 5 innings each go around is a great, foundation to build on for him, in his next 5 or 6 starts, because he's, a vitally important piece of this rotation, and he's going to get called on a few more times, and the Mariners are going to need him to step up.
So Cal hits number 50, man. I mean, it's unbelievable, and I guess I really appreciated that at bat last night that he got the home run on, just because he started off 0-2, and just he just looks like he can cover the entire plate. He's not going to get fooled. I know he is going to at some point, but yeah. And as far as him being the only guy other than Junior, I mean, just a kind of a huge moment for Mariner history.
Absolutely. I mean, it was a tank too. I mean, the guy crushed it. I feel like it's, speechless type territory. Like you're doing things that I've never seen before, and you're carrying this team night in and night out, and doing it not only offensively but with the pitchers as well. It's just incredible. 50 home runs is just such an amazing feat. There's only, I think it's less than 40 guys that have ever hit.
Yeah, it's like 33.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
ridiculous. Pretty
rare territory, and obviously from the catching position, it's kind of just one of one character. I'm so impressed, and I just look at trying to find what adjustments he's continuing to make, and how pitchers are attacking him, and he's doing such a good job of really just staying within himself of what he can and can't do, right? So like when hitters kind of get out of whack, they chase a lot, they're swinging at pitches they can't handle, and I feel like Cal hasn't really done that at all. Maybe a time or two he tries to reach out and is fooled, but he is locked in from both sides of the plate. And you mentioned the right side, like this is what he's doing from the right side is kind of not expected. He's been so good from the left side, hitting homers, these last so many years, but I mean now he's got 20 homers from the right side. It's just, man, I'm so impressed and so thankful Cal's on the Mariners.
Just real quick, is it just his brain works faster than everybody else? Or what do you think? What do you attribute that to? Like,
I mean, yeah, there's experience. Obviously, that's a big part of it. But I think Cal is like, you listen to him talk, and he's so simple. He's so he doesn't really overcomplicate things, and he doesn't let the emotions get too high or get too low. He understands what's ahead of him, and his ultimate goal, and he continues to say this, and this is why it makes him such a great player and an even better teammate, is we just want to win. All I want to do is win, and anything I can do to help out the team win, and if that is requiring me to talk to other guys or talk to pitchers or make adjustments when I need to at the plate, he's doing everything in so many ways that is kind of just remarkable, and I just want to say legendary.
Yeah, he's building that legend.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like we were talking earlier. He's setting the bar really high.
Yeah,
for next season, like the standard by which he'll be judged. Coming into this season, his career high was 34 home runs last year. Now it's going to be whatever, 57, 58. Who knows what it's going to be? And if he has a season where he goes 42 home runs, we're going to go, he was good. He was good. He was a little down from the previous. I mean, it's just, playing that position. It's just, to me, it's not even the number of home runs. We've seen other guys do that. Certainly not that common. But again, the catcher, the wear and tear that any catcher goes through, and it's not unique to Cal. We see every moment of it with Cal, but every catcher that's playing as much as he does takes a beating. It's just an unforgiving position. But you see other guys really tail off much quicker we're not seeing it with Cal physically tail off. You expect it. You sort of allow for it. Like, look, man, that you start getting down to the final crunch time. This guy's been taking a beating all season. He's been doing it in the heat and all of this. You're going to see the numbers start to come down, and he's had some stretches. Certainly, the August overall has not been a great month, but it's just remarkable what he's doing playing that position.
Absolutely. And you mentioned some of the injuries, the banged up feelings, a foul tip off the glove and jams his thumb, or taking foul balls off the mask. These things can totally affect you, and to think that doesn't hurt when you go up for your next at bat and it's your hand, it's the only thing you have on the bat is your hands to really control everything. So he's been able to withstand like all the bumps and bruises along the way and handle them just with ease, almost like it's not even there. So it's incredible, absolutely incredible. I'm just, everyone in America, I think is on the Cal Raleigh train right now. I truly believe it, just because what he's doing, like you said, at this catching position. That's where he's standing out, and he continues to stand out. And the 50 home run mark is a huge mark. So. Kudos to Cal, and this is an MVP caliber season, so let's just hope it continues to unfold that way.
The thing I love about baseball is how it goes on for so long, and then you got kind of these like trends of like the last 4 weeks to 6 weeks or whatever. In the past like during the last, say 6 weeks, who's a player that really do you think is kind of underrated, that sort of flies under the radar, that like is really helping this team and we don't really talk about enough?
That is a really good question. My mind goes to a couple different people, but are we talking offense? Are we talking defense? Pitching? Either?
Anything.
Anybody. Okay.
Maybe Gabe Spire.
Obviously, he's had a tremendous season. No doubt. I think being, for the most part, the only lefty down there, he's done it incredible job. So, that's one guy. I just think of other guys, more of the offensive side of things, and it's easy to point to Josh Naylor and the impact that he's having, and getting hits and getting on base, and he just feels so intense and serious. Like the urgency is there. Like this is very important, and I think that rubs off on guys. Yeah. There's a couple other guys, right? You could point to that maybe have other impacts in different ways, but I kind of really appreciate that first base pickup of Naylor and what he's been able to provide so far. It was clearly, and you've seen it, right? It's like if you didn't have him, there's a gap there at first base still, and he's done such a good job of filling that gap. So,
I like that he's really serious and everything. Bob interviewed JP the other day, and he was asking him about Naylor, and he's like, I used to try to talk to him when I was at first base, and he just said one word, and I was quite sure he hated me and all that stuff. And which is kind of cool. I mean, he brings a totally different element because, like, you got Robles on one side, right, who's kind of crazy and loud, and then this guy's just very serious. So that's a cool answer, because I think he really, more than just, we talked about his bat when he came in here, but his defense and then just his intensity is really cool.
It rubs off on guys, and it's contagious. It's like, from a lot of, situations, especially when you get traded, you're more often than not, you're going to get traded to a team in contention. And that's what happened with Naylor. And it's like, well, I came here to win. I didn't come here to, mail it in here. So the impact he's had has been absolutely tremendous. And he's right there in the middle of the lineup, and he's not an easy out by any means. That's a guy I think that's easy to pick too. I know you mentioned Spire out of the bullpen as well, so we could probably pick apart everyone on this roster and give him a little credit,
Hey, just to put a wrap on the Cal conversation, Jeff Passan on with Brock and Salk was asked if he thinks voters understand all that Cal does for this team on a daily basis.
Probably not, but I also think you're underselling Aaron Judge's role in that clubhouse as the leader and the mentor and the person who kind of runs things. And the problem, Brock, with it is that it's unquantifiable. Like we can't say if Logan Gilbert goes out in his next start and shoves that it's directly attributable to Cal Raleigh. But the one word you forgot in there as you were talking about all these things that he is. And I think in that situation, the best word to describe what he was there is friend. And I love the fact that Cal Raleigh is adored in that clubhouse the way he is. There are plenty of turds in baseball, guys who, if they were having the kind of year that Cal Raleigh was having, it would be appreciated, but it might not be celebrated.
Yeah, I gotta say, to me, that's a false equivalency. Him talking about, well, you're selling Judge short on what he does in that locker room, that clubhouse there. He's a leader. He's a mentor. You know what? That's all probably true, and this is not a knock on him. That doesn't take a physical toll at all. Has no impact on him physically, none. You got him DHing. He's not playing defense right now. He's not having a good August since he's been back. It's night and day what Cal is being asked to do versus what Judge is being asked to do. It just is. And Judge has got him in average. He's got him in on base. He's got him in a number of different categories. I'm not saying he's got no case to be made for MVP. Certainly does. But when you use that as, hey, people aren't acknowledging that, okay, that's great, but that's not asking more of him physically than what is going on with Cal behind the plate. And he's saying, well, you can't directly attribute success from a pitcher to the catcher. Well, you know for a fact he's got a role in it. You know for a fact he's got a physical role in it. Whereas if Aaron Judge is mentoring a guy and he goes out and hits a home run, are you going to go, see, Aaron Judge? It's a false equivalency to me.
I agree. And there's Passan's like, I need a number to quantify it. And it's like, I don't think you do. I don't think that there needs to be a number. I think it needs to be like a feeling, a gut play of what you've watched. You've watched enough baseball. You understand, what it takes from each position. You understand what it takes to play 162 and how good or bad you can be. And I think that's what it will continue to be in Cal's favor, is that he's the only catcher doing this in the league. And there's really no one even close to his numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'd say it's great that we're talking about it now, but, I'd say once we get into that last 10, 15 games in September and we're still in this kind of MVP race, I think these are the conversations that are going to put Cal over the edge, is, saying to everyone and talking to the national media saying, hey, it isn't just about Aaron Judge's OPS being 200 points above Cal.
Mm.
He is actually impacting the game way more than a DH would. So I think that's where this conversation needs to kind of, get stirred up a little bit and say, hey, well, I know we can't put a number on exactly what Cal does, but there clearly is an impact he has, on the pitching staff, right? There is an immediate impact, and you could talk to every single starter, every pitcher in that roster, and everyone will say, I've heard it time and time again, like, Cal is the best. He's the best catcher. He's the best, receiver. He's the best, teacher, vocalizer to try to make adjustments. He knows so much, and he's so in tune with everything that it can't be ignored. Like, and I think that would be a disservice to baseball fans, a disservice to, Cal himself, if you're going to undermine what he's doing at this position. And I know that, Aaron Judge in New York is doing great things and he's put up great numbers. You're not going to deny that, but I think the impact that he has on this team is greater than Aaron Judge's.
Well, and do you think that, for the pitching staff, they've already should admire him, right? Because they've been listening to him and working with him and everything. But now that he's putting on this offensive display, I would think that it would be a little bit more, it'd just bring a little bit more to the table, right?
Oh, so much more. It's incredible, right? I think that's the kicker, is like the offensive side of things. And when you look at, like, I think the home runs that Cal has hit, like, I'd be really curious to go through of all the games Cal has hit homers. I briefly was going through this earlier. I didn't get through the whole list. I was curious how many first inning home runs Cal had. I think he's got like 12 or 13 right now. And I want to say of those 12 or 13, they won like 10 games. So I just wonder, of all the 50 games, like, how many games did the Mariners lose, right? So that's another stat you can kind of pull up of, okay, his offensive production not only is helping the Mariners win, but they're, or helping his own stat, but he's helping the team win, because every time he's producing, the team is winning, right. So I think there's another, avenue to kind of continue to talk about all the things that Cal does and does so well. And I just really, really would love to see an MVP here for the Big Dumper.
Hey, back to Bryce for a moment. When do you think is a realistic? I was saying, as we were looking at the pitching matchups, that I'm giving him some grace because he's been out for so long. He's coming back. It's only his second start. But when is it reasonable to expect him to look like Bryce Miller, to give us a quality start, to say, you know what, 6-3 is right? He's not far. He's giving you 5 and 4 both times, so he's right there. But when is it the next start? Do you think it takes? Everybody's different. I get it, but what reasonably is it fair to say this next start, man? You got to give us. You got to be better than that.
I think it's fair. I do. From a pitch count perspective, absolutely. That's what when you look at like the pitches by inning, I think that's where he could have gone 6 innings, but he runs to an inning where he throws 25, 27 pitches, and that kind of adds up. So then you go, okay, well, now I have to be super efficient over the next 3 innings in order to get to 6, right? Yeah. So I think, you're definitely accurate in that. Like, he's totally capable to run out there and have a good outing. And, I've just been a little snake bitten by the long ball, right? Just had a couple pitches lifting over the plate, and that's what these big league hitters do. They take you deep when you leave it over the middle. So, I think that's part of coming back from an injury as well. It's like, okay, for whatever reason, as a pitcher, it sometimes is easier to throw it down the middle than to kind of throw it around the corners, right?
Right.
You just, oh, no, I went down the middle again. And ultimately, as a pitcher, you're like, well, I'd rather throw a strike than a ball, so you're not going to just, throw it all over the place. that's what happens sometimes when you're coming back. You're just trying to be really, really precise, and sometimes you're just leaving things too good for hitters to attack. But yeah, if a 6-inning piece happened next start, I wouldn't be surprised. And in a lot of ways, I think I don't want to expect it, but it would clearly continue to help out the bullpen and not having to cover that one extra inning.
Yeah.
It seems like when pitchers, you see all the time that when they leave one over the plate or whatever, that they know right away. Were you like, as soon as you released the ball, like, oh,
it's
no?
For sure. I mean, I've said this a couple different times to people. It's like, there's probably been 10 times in my career where as I'm like lifting my leg about to throw it, I know it's going down the middle, and I can't stop. It's like I can't like
hasn't
stop.
even left your hand yet.
Okay, I'm like, oh no. And of those 10, I feel like 8 of them were damage done, home run, double, like hard hit, just like and the other 2 where the guy didn't swing, and then the umpire, called a strike, a ball or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, I got away. But yeah, it happens, like you don't mean to throw it down the middle, right? But that's
unless you're Munoz. He says that repeatedly. I'm just trying to throw the ball as hard as I can right down the middle.
Oh, if you have stuff like that, I get it, But, not every pitcher has the luxury of a 100-mile-an-hour heater that you can put in your back pocket, but I'm going to throw you sliders all day and then throw you a 99. It looks like 106. So that's one way of doing it. But, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You know right away.
Hey, quickly, we asked Ryan Rowland-Smith this, and I was telling him I was watching a game over the weekend. I still can't remember which game it was. It wasn't the Mariners. But pitching coach came out to a pitcher had walked 2 in a row, had given up a hit, and he came out there to talk to him, and he's got his hand over his mouth, but you could see he was animated. Like he looked like he was lighting him up. Like you just see the pitcher nodding, and the guy was like, kind of barking at him. And I was asking Ryan, did you ever get chewed out by what was a conversation for you normally, like if you were in trouble, walking guys, whatever? Would the pitching coach be Mr. Positive, like, hey, man, you've got this. You're better than you know what to do here. Let's work on busting him up in it, whatever. Or was there ever a moment where the guy would come out and go, Furbush, what the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. And the answer is going to be mixed based on each reliever, each pitcher that's like in that situation. So sometimes when you're in
for you personally, though.
No, for me, what I realized was that if you were going to come out and try to make this more serious than it already is, then this is a bad route.
Okay.
Like,
did you ever have anybody light you up out there, or were they always trying to be positive?
I had a college coach back in the day at LSU. He literally like called time and dead sprinted to the mound and ran right up and like, when are you, like chest to chest to me and started. No, I'm calling the pitches. You can't call the pitches. It was like, I was like, what is happening? And I told him, I go, well, you're not pitching, so I'm going to call the pitches. I'm in control up here. You're not in control. He's like, well, I'm the pitching coach. I'm in control. I was like, but I'm throwing the pitches. And he's like, kind of stormed off. The catcher kind of said, hey, let's end this. And sure enough, I ended up throwing the pitch I wanted, and I got the job done. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't have walked off the field with my chest higher like, that's right. I know what's going on, coach. You know what I mean?
I'm the one throwing the pitch.
That's right. And
what was the coach doing? Like just looking away or down?
No, I think he was probably like, yeah. I can't believe he was right.
So typically the mound visits at the pro level, they come out and be positive affirmation. Just, you got this.
There's a couple routes. One is like a matchup thing where you're like, okay, here's a guy. He's pinch hitting. This is, where we need to attack him. This is like kind of a mini scouting report, if you will. Hey, if you're out of whack and you're kind of erratic, well, hey, let's just take a breather. Let's not really focus on the inconsistency of what you're doing on the mound. So maybe we can mention something else to take your mind away from what you're trying to accomplish. Right. I think that's the other thing that kind of helps sometimes. Is like, I remember Carl Willis, our old pitching coach, now in Cleveland. He had this deep Southern accent. Hey, Charlie, how you doing? You're looking pretty good today. And I'm like, I just gave up 2 runs, man. You know what I mean? He's like, man, you look good doing it. And I just like, okay. I was like, man, you're giving me confidence to like that it's not as bad as it seems. And I think
you look good too.
Yeah, and I think that's what's like great sometimes is a pitching coach can completely change your mentality, perception of what's going on, and get you back into that like attack mode of who you are.
Yeah.
But sometimes you end up being your own worst enemy, and it takes a breather, a pitching coach to say something, or even Cal to come out and, hey, you're all right out there, man. You need a quick breather. Like let's just take 30 seconds and reset real quick.
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting. I think that's what you learn through the process of the relationship building with a pitching coach or a manager. Is like, okay, what do I need? What do you need to say to me? Are there certain things? Does somebody want to come out and say, no, I just want like mechanical information, like what's going on with my mechanics? Am I out of whack? Is it my front shoulder flying open, or am I leaking? What's going on here? Where some guys like, I don't want to work on anything right now. My mind's in a different place, and I'm getting beat up, and I need to figure out how to get back to normal. But can you give me some positive affirmations here so I feel better about it and I can get back to doing what I'm doing? But it just takes some time to kind of figure out that relationship.
All right, coming up, it's been adventurous for one area of this Mariners pitching staff lately. We're going to get into that. Coming up next, we got Charlie Furbush in studio with us for the hour. It's Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
And the pitch on the way to Junior.
It's been 27 years since a Mariners slugger has reached the half-century mark.
Breaking ball, belted into the upper deck.
Look out, Junior. You've got company.
Upper deck, goodbye baseball, number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
This is where you hear Cal's quest for 56.
Magical.
And the Mariners push to the playoffs. Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
Well, it's beautiful outside, and this is when I love getting out on the motorcycle and try to take advantage of this weather while we have it. And I've got texts from a lot of you doing the same thing. But if you're somebody out there riding, you assume more risk on a motorcycle, and maybe you've been in an accident. Maybe you've been injured in a motorcycle crash. If that's the case, and you're talking to law firms, do not settle for a firm that tells you they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it. That's Law Tigers. They've been a part of the riding community for nearly 25 years nationwide, and they are there when you need them most. When you find yourself in an accident, you got to rely on somebody. You got to get some the advice that you need. They are there for you 24/7, 365 days a year, because riders deserve real support when you need it most, and Law Tigers is the resource riders can turn to when they're in need. Now, you see them everywhere. If you go out to any of the shops, all the events out there, they're out there supporting all the clubs, all the shops, all the events. You see the vans, you see the tents, you certainly see the billboards. The Law Tigers are always by your side. They're very present in the riding community. On top of that, your case evaluation is completely free. There are no fees until your case settles, so they don't get paid until you get paid. The Law Tigers are there with you. You never ride alone with Law Tigers. Washington's motorcycle lawyers, Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed, all in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data, except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FREE to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FREE to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FREE to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FREE to 64,000.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. We're going to turn you over to Mariner pregame show at 5:30. Coming up at 5 o'clock, El Hombre, Michael Bradley will join us. We got Charlie Furbush in studio with us as we sit right now. What's your feeling about the back of the bullpen? We've seen Brash get touched up a little bit. We've seen Munoz just kind of get into that. I'm not going to put him on the Fernando Rodney train, but he makes things interesting, man. It feels like it's not often he has 1, 2, 3. He's got a clean inning. It feels like there's always a little bit of traffic, and he gets his way out of it. I mean, look, that's all that matters. But I feel like lately he's making it interesting. Let's say.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, obviously watching the end of games and. You know, even with a lead sometimes, like last night, right? Give up a run, and it's like, okay, well, you know, the back end of the bullpen, or is everything okay back there? But in a lot of ways, I am still really thrilled with the back end of the bullpen because I feel like you hand those guys a lead, they're going to get it done. Like that's just the how good they've been this year. But you mentioned a slip up here or there, and maybe Brash seems finally visible in terms of some of the stuff he's been doing, and that's going to be a really, really, really big important thing coming here in September, because what you find is that all these games are so amplified, and not that they aren't in April or May, right? But clearly, when you've already competed all those games previous, and now you realize that there's only 20 games left, for whatever reason, or not for whatever reason, like for this reason, it's like these innings and these outs become amplified and they become more high leverage, and then suddenly the out in the 5th inning is so much more valuable than it normally was, right? So, I think having the guys in the back end of the bullpen, incredible weapons, but yeah, when things go a little awry, it just kind of seems like there is a way, or like a way to kind of get through them and get to our bullpen. But they've shown time and time again that when they're on, they're not getting beat. And I'm not really unconfident with anyone out there right now. They've all shown the ability to continue to get guys out, and I think when I get greedy about it, I still think you could have got one more reliever, like at the end of the day, because that's the gap that I think they're going to have to fill. Is like someone else is going to have to come in and get some bigger outs. You obviously saw Vargas and Pizarro, I think, have been doing great.
Maybe it's Hancock.
Yeah, maybe it's, and I think I would say it's very likely it's going to be Hancock. I don't think they would move him to the bullpen to not bring him up, right?
Right.
It's like at this point, they're trying to evaluate everyone in the org, let's say in the minor league system, and knowing that they can only bring up so many players, right? So who's the best fit and who's our best, chance to kind of add to this roster? And is it a current reliever in AAA? Could be. But I think the upside there is, taking the load off of Emerson Hancock and saying, we don't need 100 pitches, man. We need 20. We need you to let it rip. And that's what we saw in AAA, man. 99, right? Last night, 2 nights ago?
Yeah, I went Saturday. I went to the Rangers game Saturday. No, he didn't pitch that night.
Okay.
I was hoping to see him, but he didn't.
Okay, yeah. But I'm impressed. I think.
But I did see Colin Snyder and Troy Taylor and guys. I'm like, oh, yeah, they're here.
Forgot about those guys.
Yeah, they were all Legumina. They're all there.
Yeah.
They're all there. Leody Taveras is there. Ben Williamson still really good at third.
Surprise.
Oh,
Yeah.
he had a hell of a game.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where the decision's going to be kind of tough here, assuming they haven't made it already. But the Hancock news, I was so kind of shocked because he doesn't really seem like a reliever type,
Yeah.
And especially when you look at the history of his whole, his arc of his career up until this point, it doesn't seem like reliever was ever in the cards. But that just goes to show when, you don't have to throw that many pitches and you can just empty the tank. I remember myself. I was a starter. I was okay at starting. You remember those guys. I was really good, right, Dave? I was so good they moved me to the bullpen. Yes.
Charlie, you played in the big leagues from 2011 to 15, so you were pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, technically 16, even though I didn't play.
Okay.
But I was there.
Don't cheat him out of a year.
Yeah.
All right.
I want my service time.
I'm just looking at Pro Baseball Reference. And
there you go. That was last year I actually played because I hurt my shoulder.
Okay.
But yeah, when I made the transition, I immediately saw an uptick in all of my pitches. And fastball, slider, changeup, and that was the initial adjustment of going, okay, now these things are sharper, harder. How do I make sure that I'm still accurate with these pitches? And then on top of that, how am I reacting in a bullpen environment and having to come in with guys on base? And there's so many things that you just don't experience as a starter. You may experience them while you're starting. Oh yeah, I gave up a couple hits and now I got to get out of the jam.
Yeah.
It's different when you're coming in trying to clean up someone else's mess. And the importance of it, especially late in the game, your leash is so short and you have to be so accurate in strike throwing and high quality strike throwing that if you're not, then it's clearly evident that maybe this isn't for you. But this would be a great thing for the Mariners to have Hancock come up and fill some big innings. And if a situation happens where a starter gets whacked out of the third inning, and it's like, okay, well, who are we gonna piece this together inning by inning? Is that the best approach? Or maybe we'll throw in Hancock for 3, sit him down for the next 2, and he's ready again. So it's like I think that's where that long man that he could play, and then the upside is that maybe his stuff continues to play up. That maybe you see him in a 6th or 7th inning. So it'll be interesting to see. But that's the guy I'm certainly excited to add to this roster here in September.
Well, one guy that was added is Victor Robles. He is back. He's given him a bit of a spark in terms of the vibe in that clubhouse. But what happens with him moving forward? We'll talk about that. Charlie Furbush in studio with us. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
Historical. Are you buying it? You like that?
Historical.
Brock and Salk.
It sounds too much like Dangerous. That's my problem.
Morning 6 to 10.
Can you get to 54 to tie Mickey Mantle or pass him at 55 for switch hitting home runs in a season? Can you get to 56 or 57 to tie or pass Junior?
For me, it would be Griffey. Hitting in the Kingdome for those years, a totally different era from pitching. I think even Ken would go, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Only on Seattle Sports.
Well, I've heard from a lot of you guys on the text line, a lot of us living with pain based on what we've done in our life, right? Dave Wyman always talking about the years in the NFL taking its toll on his body, and he got paid great money to do that. I paid money to destroy my body in jiu-jitsu is the difference there. 14 years of sparring and all of that took its toll on my hip, my back, but the hip was really bothering me. So I had listened to the comments from Dave Wyman, the testimonials, people going in for this 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Mark Wagner. So I said, let me check this out. Let me see what it's about. So I went in and talked to Dr. Mark Wagner and said, here's what's going on, gave him all my MRI results. And he said, look, I'm not going to be able to fix all of this. It's not going to fix everything, but it's going to go a long way into helping you. And he was 100% right. It is night and day. It used to bother me to walk up a hill. It used to bother me to walk for too long. Now I'm walking, I'm training, I'm doing everything I was doing before, and I did it without surgery. So if you're somebody that's dealing with pain, you're considering surgery, do yourself a favor. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Have a consultation with him at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Again, so many people raving about the results from that stem cell procedure. Dr. Mark Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. So if you're somebody dealing with osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, those people are back to doing what they enjoy doing and doing it without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I was dealing with, maybe it's your knee, your shoulder, your elbow, whatever it is, go see Dr. Mark Wagner first before surgery. Head to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products or compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
It's back to school time again, and parents are pretty stressed out.
Can you blame us? The supply list, the sign-ups, the scheduling.
At least haircuts are easy at Great Clips.
It's true. With the Great Clips app, I checked him in before we left home, so we were in and out in no time.
I got a great haircut, and Mom got to check something off the to-do list. She really loves that.
Back to school can be a lot, but haircuts are easy at Great Clips. Download the app today.
Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better.
better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up at the top of the hour, El Hombre Michael Bradley will join us on the program. Stay tuned for that. We got Charlie Furbush in studio with us. So since we last spoke, the Mariners brought up Victor Robles.
Dylan Moore was DFA'd. He's now with the Rangers. I don't know if you saw that. He signed a minor league deal with them.
Saw that today.
What was your reaction to that move? Them calling him up. We don't know when this. We were just saying. I have no idea. There's no parameters to work with. This is as far as the timetable on hearing about the appeal for Robles. So it could happen any moment. Could happen in a week, a day. Who knows? But what do you think of the move to call him up right now? They're going to lose him for some period of time. We'll see. And then Dylan Moore.
Yeah.
The longest tenured Mariner.
Your favorite Mariner, Bob.
I like him individually, and he's had some great moments with the team, but he was, come on, man. He had 3 hits in 3 months.
If only he went to the Astros for you, right? It would have just been a perfect storm.
I don't blame him. You got to go where the work is, man, but it would have been really hard. Now I can still root for him to do well, but yeah.
But Robles, well, first off, I said it last show. I was like, bring him up as soon as possible. Like, it's better off getting something out of him now, and that's what you've seen. And, hey, this is not the situation the Mariners envision themselves in, but it doesn't matter. He is such a fun player to watch, and you're seeing it. You're seeing it night in and night out. It's like, okay, well, I think everyone can sit and watch a Mariners game and say, I missed the Victor Robles show. This is awesome. This is fun.
Well,
it's great. It's a difference maker. So
everything.
I just think they made the right call, and they're just going to have to sit back and hope that this appeal process gets, wrapped up pretty quick. I would be shocked if it kind of goes past September 1st in a lot of ways. I just don't think that MLB wants to have this, just in limbo, like what's going on here. Like at some point or another, he's going to get suspended, right? It's just a matter of how many games.
Did you see the Contreras thing?
Oh, he freaked out.
Yeah,
he lost it.
He kind of threw the bat over his shoulder, but I saw him looking at the ump, like he wanted to hit him. But anyway, he got a 6-game. I mean, is that encouraging?
Well, didn't he hit his own coach too?
He did. Yeah.
And it was Brant Brown.
Oh, classic.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was looking at the umpire when he looked back. If you look at the video and everything, I don't want to. Maybe he wasn't trying to, but he was pissed at the umpire. So I'm wondering if MLB, do they cherish the players more or the umpires? Because I'm wondering if
it's a good question. I mean, I would. It's a really good question, but it's an interesting situation that has unfolded now that yet a second bat throw happens within 10 days or whatever, right? You're like, okay.
And we've really never seen this before, right?
No. And, I think, to the recency of it, it's like they're, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, okay, there's a new rule next year. Hitters, you got to drop your bat, okay? Like, this is a weapon now, okay? You got to leave the weapon alone. But not only because people are now throwing bats. It's like, okay, let's take it easy.
It's become all the craze now.
Yeah, exactly.
Bat throwing.
Exactly. But yeah, hopefully the suspension is if Contreras got 6, you'd think just because it was a different situation, maybe a little less instant reactive, right? Like he was arguing and yelling and had his bat the whole time and got pushed away. Robles just was like, here comes the bat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
spur of the moment.
And I think that's maybe a little different because that's like going after the pitcher right in that moment, and it's a gut feeling, and it's warranted in some capacity just because you got hit so many times. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 8 games at most, right? Like, okay,
that's kind of what I was thinking. They might take 2 off of there, and
well, especially now that
I'd be
Contreras got
stunned
6.
if it were less. Yeah, but
it's like, okay, give him 7, right? Like 7 or 8 seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Take a week off.
Well, I'm just wondering if MLB goes, hey, it's one thing to throw it at a pitcher, but you throw it at an umpire.
Well,
that's
and it is
really
different.
bad.
Yeah.
So
that is a different thing. And plus, look, the initial suspension was 10.
Mm-hmm.
His is 6. He's appealing his. Contreras is appealing his. We'll see what it gets cut down to.
Yeah.
His is 10, so maybe I'd be stunned if it went below 8. Stunned, but again, no precedent to really compare it to. So hopefully he's able to, he'll still be able to work out with the team and do all those things and keep his timing at the plate. And
didn't he say his mother had passed?
Yeah, within the past month.
Yeah,
I don't know if they take that in consideration or not.
Yeah,
I mean, tragedy happens every day in people's lives, and it's an unfortunate part of life, but I don't think that gives you an excuse to launch a bat.
You should be allowed to hit people with bats.
When your mom dies? Is that – come on. I mean –
well, you got to make exceptions. You're going through things.
Yeah, you're
man.
going – and that's tough. It's
That
not –
would be brutal.
I'm not trying to take away the impact that has. It's a very, serious life thing that will happen to all of us. So
but you're right. I'm guessing they're not going to give any credence to that. They're going to be, that's terrible news. You can't hit people with a bat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
we're not discounting that part of it, but somebody texted in and they were like, Wyman, I think 10 years ago you said if a pitcher throws at a hitter and he has to stay in that box, that the hitter should be able to throw a bat at the pitcher. And I'm like, I don't remember that, but it kind of sounds like me a little bit.
It seems fair. It still sounds fair to me.
I don't know. Is the bat fair, though? What about the helmet? It's
about
more round shaped like the ball.
Yeah.
A smaller object than
or
the
maybe
bat.
you just pick the ball up and throw it back at him. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like
and he's got to stand there without his glove.
You could definitely. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting question. Now, would you get more hurt by 100-mile-an-hour heater to the head or a baseball bat to the head?
Yeah,
which is? I mean, are they equally as damaged? Right?
What's the exit velo on the bat?
I don't know. What's the
swing speed there?
At least 100. Yeah.
Whatever it was, I was joking. Okay, but
because you're a funny guy. You like to joke.
Well, I think people took it seriously, so obviously I'm not very good at being funny.
Do you have any sense? I don't know if you ever were around guys that got suspended or appealed, but the fact that we don't really have any sense of when the announcement could come, and it seems like, I mean, he appealed how long ago? What's it been? Easily a week, right?
Yeah. So I'll give you some kind of insider context to why this is taking so long. So as the former player rep with the Mariners, understanding how the union works, so they're not, he's appealing it. So there's going to be a bunch of other appeals in the queue that you may not see from a suspension on-field standpoint. So there are issues that end up happening with players and teams and whatnot. So and some of these things take years, right? I mean, from a service time issue where someone gets sent up or sent down, there's a litany of issues that kind of exist within the players and the teams. And I know through our union, they're in a process. Okay, well, now we have all these appeals. We're trying to get through them as fast as possible. Some of them may even be players that don't even play in the league anymore. But when you run into situations like this where this is now kind of dominated the news cycle and everyone wants to know what's going on, they will now push these appeals up to the top. Okay. So most likely, they were between MLB, between the union, between all the representatives trying to figure out, okay, how fast can we make this happen? And ultimately, are there any other things in the way that we can now push on the back burner so we can take care of this sooner? Because it's clearly now affecting games, it's affecting rosters, it's affecting teams.
Yeah.
So
and playoff runs.
So that's why I say it's like, okay, the appeals process takes a little bit of time, but I would not be surprised if there's a ruling here much sooner than later, especially now that they handed out the 6-game suspension to Contreras. So it'd be shocked if it was middle September and then they suspended him the last 10 games or something. You know what I mean?
That'd be rough.
Yeah.
That'd be rough. All right. Charlie, as always, we appreciate it, man. Great stuff. We'll do it again next week.
Can't wait.
There you go. Charlie Furbush in studio with us each and every week talking baseball, and talk to this guy about the MVP vote. Does East Coast bias carry over to a guy like El Hombre? We'll talk to him next. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
And the pitch on the way to Junior.
It's been 27 years since a Mariners slugger has reached the half-century mark.
Breaking ball, belted into the upper deck.
Look out, Junior. You've got company.
Upper deck, goodbye baseball, number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
This is where you hear Cal's quest for 56.
Magical.
And the Mariners push to the playoffs. Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
Now is the time. We talk about it year-round, but roofing season really is upon us. It's Mike Salk here. So what makes it roofing season? Long, dry days where roofing crews can work realistically sun up to sundown. They're cranking out projects all over our region, and Riverside Roofing is, of course, leading the charge. Local to Marysville, Riverside Roofing serves the entirety of Western Washington. They do amazing work. They've earned my recommendation, plus industry awards like GAF Master Elite's President's Club, a status fewer than 1% of roofing companies in the entire country actually achieve. Get a roofing quote in less than 60 seconds using Quick Quote directly on riversideroofingllc.com. It'll pop up as soon as you go on their website. During and after your roofing job, you can expect a yard and driveway totally clean of debris. Behind their national accolades is a family company from right here in Marysville, built upon important local values like trust. That's why Riverside Roofing is the local roofing company you can trust. Go to riversideroofingllc.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale, now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Everyone wants to get the best deal they can when they buy a car. What about when you want to sell your car, though? Of course, you want to get the most money possible, but how can you get the most you can without trying to sell it yourself? Stacey Rost here, and that's where my friends at Wayscar Ford in Auburn step in. Not only will they buy your car today, but that's just the beginning. Once they resell your old car, they send you another check for 50% of the profit of the sale of your old car. They've already given back over $800,000 to their customers. You can go to the website to see pictures of giant checks for yourself. It's such a great offer, and I know exactly what you're wondering right now. How are they able to do it? It's not a consignment because you get paid for your car right away. Wayscar Ford pays you right up front. They buy your car for fair market value. No more insurance, no more maintenance, no more storage, no more headaches. Then they pay you half the profit when they resell your car. It's just that simple. Get the most money possible for your old car at Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn and let them do the work. WayscarFord.com. That's WayscarFord.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners took game 1 of their series with the Padres last night to win the Vetter Cup. Now they look to win this series tonight when they send Luis Castillo to the hill. He faces off against Dylan Cease. You can catch all the action starting at 5:30 with the pregame. 6:40 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710. Meanwhile, other games going on right now. They're headed to the top of the 7th in Baltimore. Red Sox with a 2-0 lead over the Orioles. Bottom of the 5th in Miami, Braves with a 2-1 lead over the Marlins. It's the Guardians up 3-0 on the Rays. Bottom of the 6th in Cleveland. Out there in New York, Yankees trailing the Nationals 1-0. That game in the bottom of the 3rd. Blue Jays with a 3-0 lead in Toronto over the Twins. The Phillies and Mets are headed to the top of the 4th. No score there. El Hombre. Top of the 2nd, Brewers up 1-0 on the Diamondbacks. Headed to the bottom of the 2nd in Chicago. No score between the Royals and the White Sox. And the Pirates with an early 5-0 lead over the Cardinals. Still top of the 1st there.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
Yeah, you know what you can get me, Pee-wee?
What?
El Hombre.
That was a catastrophe.
I know.
That's a new low.
Yeah.
Roz is better.
El Hombre.
The natural meets Rudy meets. I don't even know how to describe it.
El Hombre.
He's here, everybody. Each and every week you look forward to this conversation with the one, the only El Hombre. Michael Bradley joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. How are you, man?
Oh, sorry. I was doing some sweeping. Sorry. How's everything going there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was not taken well here. It was not well received.
If you hadn't thrown the no score in there, I wouldn't have done it, but you did it. Sweeping. So I had to talk about something that was, going to get you guys allowed.
You know, what's funny is I tweeted out that picture you sent, and I didn't go back to check the comments. Did you get a lot of grief? I didn't.
Yeah, no. People were pretty good about it. One person, said something that was mildly offensive and then put a winking emoji on it.
No.
And other folks are like that they can't justify the body and the voice, which always happens. And that fortunately nobody said directly that I got a face for radio, but some of it was implied.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It was my first chance to get a glimpse at El Hombre.
You'd seen him
didn't know what he
before.
looked like.
Yeah, I showed you when he sent me the Turkey Bowl uniform.
I tried to block that one out.
He's
That
wearing
one
the
was-
eye black and the Michigan pants and all that. Yeah.
Exactly. 149 pounds, a prime choice.
And a baby.
A prime choice. Hey, we're out here having the MVP debate in Major League Baseball. Cal Raleigh hit his 50th home run last night, and we'll see where it ends in the season. Meanwhile, Aaron Judge, the best, his best competition, I should say, has been DHing. He's not been playing in the field. He's having a rough month of August. How much does East Coast, being a Yankee, being on the East Coast, play into voting, do you think? Because that seems to be the assumption or the fallback, the preemptive complaint before the votes are even in, that there's going to be East Coast bias.
Well, I don't think it's East Coast bias as much as it's a couple of things. Name brand, right? Aaron Judge, everybody knows Aaron Judge. Yankees, name brand. Yankees on TV a lot more than the Mariners. It seems like the ESPN has just discovered Cal Raleigh in the last couple of weeks. So they're finally going to be talking about him on SportsCenter and on Part of the Interruption. That may only be because Mina Kimes has been on and she's a Seattle native. But the more I think about it, if he continues on this pace, and I'm not saying hit 62 or 63 home runs. Let's say he finishes at 56 or 57. He's doing it primarily as a catcher, number one, which is astounding. Number two, he's the only person ever to hit 20 home runs from both the left and the right side. He's got a chance to be hit the most home runs by a switch hitter. And he's playing on a team that's right now in the playoffs. So I really would say that he should get it at this point. And as you said, Judge has been failing lately. He hasn't had a good August. Wasn't he on the IL for a little while?
Yeah.
He missed some time. Unless the Mariners fall out of the playoffs, he's somebody who should get it. The one thing he's got going for him is he's got a great nickname. I mean, there's no way you can't love the nickname, the Big Dumper.
Dave doesn't love it.
Well, does Dave have a big rear end? Does it upset him that way? I mean, because that's what I'm thinking about when I hear Big Dumper.
Well, I used to, but now that I'm getting into my 60s, it's a tragedy when they make me take my belt off at the security line.
Well, really, you got to hold on to those pants quickly before they fall down.
Nothing to hold it up.
I think that Seattle fans should be very cheered by his prospects. However, I caution you by saying, as much as it gives you a little bit of a civic boost to have an MVP, in the grand scheme of things, it means nothing. It comes down to how well you do in the postseason. And I'm not trying to belittle it and not trying to say that. It's nice. It's fun. It would be great for him and great for the team. Everybody would be happy. But you want to win in the postseason, and I would much rather say, oh, Aaron Judge won the MVP and we made it to the ALCS or we made it to the World Series.
Hey, I don't know if you know this, El Hombre, but bat throwing, it's all the rage right now. We had years and years and years of non-bat throwing, and now all of a sudden you got Victor. I don't know if you heard about Victor Robles, which that was in a minor league game, but then Wilson Contreras, and it looked like he hit his own coach or whatever, and his was a 6-game. I don't know if you saw the Victor Robles one, but I don't know. It's just kind of a weird thing that it's unprecedented, at least as far as I know. And then, I don't know. Do you think that Robles, I don't know if you saw that, was in a minor league game, but AAA, but, what do you think the suspension is going to be for him? Because Contreras got 6.
I think that he should be suspended at least as long. This is what should happen. If you throw your bat, you're out for at least 5 games. This is not throwing, some equipment out or picking up third base and tossing it or, throwing gum like he did after he threw the bat. This is a weapon. And I don't mean, like a rifle. But it's a weapon. This could really do damage to somebody. You throw a bat, you're going to sit down. And there should and the appeal should be, yes, we hear your arguments. Yes, sorry, no, we're not lessening the suspension. You cannot make it so that people think this is okay to do.
Yeah, and I mean the suspensions are different. They're both being appealed, but one was 10 games, the other one's 6 games. So I don't know. I was saying I would be stunned if it got dropped to below 8 for Robles. I'm just more concerned with the timing because it's already been I think, over a week since he's appealed it. We haven't. I don't know what kind of time frame we're looking at, but we're down to 30 games to go, and this is a guy who's potentially crucial to them getting into the postseason and where and what seed they may have if they're a wild card or if they win the division. So there's a lot on the line there, and I don't know how much urgency there is with baseball when they're looking at appeals.
Well, it used to be that if you were going to appeal, you had to be in New York. Okay. Now with Zoom, you can do teleconferencing. You can do it differently. So I'm sorry. I'm watching the Phillies, and seriously, Castellanos should be just sent away.
I feel like they're on every time we talk to you.
They are, because they play a lot of games between. They usually start at 6:45 at home. They play a lot of games around 8 o'clock Eastern time.
Is there still no score in that game?
It's 0-0. Okay, there is a score. It's 0-0. I just think that if I'm the commissioner, I'm handing down a heavy suspension to anybody who throws a bat, because I don't want this to become something that people think they can get away with.
Yeah. Fair enough. Hey, as far as the NFL season goes, and we're looking at roster cuts and all of that, and some names are making headlines. Some are. I was reading this quote. I got to find this because it was from your favorite Pope Urban III. Is that what you call him?
Pope Urban VI.
Oh, my bad.
Pope Urban. Just for those of you who don't know, the reason I call Meyer Pope Urban VI is that Pope Urban VI was one of the most despicable popes. He used to torture his adversaries, and he would go down into the torture chamber, and if they weren't screaming enough, he would yell at the torturers to get even nastier.
Jeez.
So anyway, continue.
All right. Well, so the reason I'm bringing him he made a comment about Shedeur Sanders, and I saw it because our buddy Mark Schlereth was arguing with somebody on Twitter, and somebody brought up this Urban Meyer quote as evidence to support their argument. And this is on Shedeur Sanders. I want to read this to you and get your reaction. So Urban Meyer is saying, Shedeur Sanders isn't just a player. He's an empire. If I were an NFL coach, I'd build the entire team around him. People may not like the spotlight and the flashiness that comes with him, but I've seen enough to know that this is the guy who will lead a team to greatness. He doesn't just play the game, he changes it. That's his assessment of Shedeur Sanders.
He will never be an NFL coach again, A. 2, he's a buffoon. C, anybody who listens to what Urban Meyer has to say about anything right now should be institutionalized, frankly. I watched every pass play that Shedeur Sanders had in the third exhibition game last week. He took the snap and on every single play gave ground almost immediately. He was unable to figure out what receiver he's supposed to go to. He ran as a default, and he's not a great athlete. So this is – sorry, I'm getting another cough. I'm cutting in and out. It's Pope Leo. I'm letting him go to voicemail. So this guy doesn't deserve to be on an NFL roster. I mean, he isn't. He's on the Cleveland Browns. So he's basically on what is considered the AAA. Right? They should be playing in the Arena League. He is not a good quarterback. He is a sideshow. And everybody who's trying to make it sound like he hasn't gotten a good chance, this guy couldn't lead a team out to dinner if he were paying. So I just look at it as when Pope Urban VI opens his mouth, everybody should put their hands over their ears and go, I'm not listening, just like you do when you're hearing something you don't want to hear.
Well, let me give you Mark's response to that, though. He said, this may be the single worst analogy in the history of football. I clogged the toilet at the Broncos facility in '96, and that dump in the toilet lasted longer in the NFL than Urban.
Well done. I love that. That is a very, very poetic and an erudite response and the proper approach to anything that Pope Urban VI did. So,
well, he was an offensive guard, so
we need some football games so the nonsense will stop. Fortunately, we get them starting on Thursday, Friday, Saturday in college, and next Thursday the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles play against False Faces squad. Now we can talk about football. Please make all of this go away. I don't want to hear about contract disputes. I don't hear about Shedeur Sanders. I don't hear about Michael Parsons. I don't hear about Falseface or any owner. Play football, please.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Hey, real quick, the A, 2, and C. What movie was that from?
Well, it's A and then 2. I forget what movies that is from. I threw the C in there, but it's A and then 2. It'll occur to me as soon as I hang up.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of that one. I love that. Whatever that is. Yeah, whatever movie that's from.
And I do that and it's great to do that in the classroom.
Yeah.
And I'll say A and 2, and there's maybe 2 or 3 people that catch what I'm doing and give me like a strange look.
Right.
Most of them at this point, the first week of the semester, my job is to scare the heck out of everybody. And I accomplished it with 3 of my classes. The 4th one, everybody's had me at least 3 times, 2 or 3 times already. They're not afraid, but the little kids were all scared. It was great.
Oh, you got to love that. Hey, let's say that the Phillies and the Mariners they both make it to the World Series. Are you more likely to wager humiliation or reward? What do you think?
What do you mean?
Well, meaning we have to wear
something. No, I wager humiliation.
Okay. Are you prepared for that, Bob?
It depends on what we're talking about here.
In other words, it depends. Do I have to sing a song, or do I have to send a picture of me wearing a Mariners jersey? When I have Penn State fans and Michigan played them, I would always bet, loser has to wear a Michigan jersey or a Michigan sweatshirt in class. I always make sure I take a picture, show everybody, etc. I've had to sing the Villanova fight song when they've lost when Michigan has lost to them, and I've made my class sing the entire Michigan fight song to me one time in class. That was really nice. I like humiliation over that. I mean, not horrible. You're shoveling out Schlereth Denver Broncos toilet with your hands or something.
Yeah.
But something
Denver Bronco
humiliating, but certainly not crushing.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
His Denver Bronco toilet. That is great. By the way, where are you? Are you looking at your Eagles as the favorites this year, or who are you worried about?
I'm worried about everybody. I mean, you never know who's going to jump up. I mean, could you have told me that last year was going to be Eagles-Rams in the NFC Championship game? Could you have told me that the Washington NFL franchise was going to get into the second round and beat the top seed in the NFC? No. So, who knows? For all we know, the Giants, God help us, could actually be good. So there's a lot of teams, so much of it is schedule, and as Dave knows, everything is health. Who's going to stay the healthiest longest? The Eagles do not have a lot of depth. Their wide receiver depth is almost non-existent. They've got some shaky backups along the offensive line. They need the defensive front to get productive. They lost Milton Williams, who was very helpful in the middle of the line. And their secondary could be vulnerable, especially the second cornerback spot. So I think they're going to have a good year. It's going to be fun, but I'm certainly not saying who's Super Bowl or bust.
Hey, what's as far as I'm trying to remember, I know that you don't really care as far as divisions go for your Philadelphia teams. Are the Giants, just with both baseball and football, are the Giants the most hated, or is it Dallas, or is it the Atlanta Braves?
Everybody hates Dallas, and everybody hates the Mets.
The Mets. Okay.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, we can't stand the Let's Goes. And nobody likes Dallas. Beating Dallas is delicious. It's fun to beat the Giants. It's fun to beat the Commanders, but it is way more fun to beat Dallas.
There's nobody you hate more than Ohio State, though.
Oh, no. There's as Marsha Brady said, there's the top of my crumb list, the bottom of my crumb list, and every crumb in between.
Marsha Brady said that?
The great Marsha Brady.
She said that about Greg Brady's girlfriend, the cheerleader, who came over and was FFFILLLMOOORE, Fillmore Junior High. That's who she said it about.
Man, I didn't know you were that much of a Brady Bunch fan.
Who isn't?
Quoting the great philosopher Marsha Brady.
Yeah.
Marsha Brady, exactly. And by the way, Maureen McCormick, even at their advanced age, still looks pretty good. So, big fan.
Is she still acting? I can't even remember the last time I saw her.
No, she's not. I always liked it when she showed up on The Love Boat. There was a great episode
Love
where she and
Boat.
Robert Hedges, Epstein, were on. They were romantically linked on the Love Boat. Epstein from Welcome Back, Kotter, and Marsha Brady.
No way. They were a couple?
Way. Look it up.
Way.
Way.
Epstein. Oh, my goodness.
Really? He was the one that always had a note, right?
Yeah, exactly, from Epstein's mother.
Yeah,
he was accused one from class today because of whatever signed Epstein's mother. Great story about that. A friend of mine was in second grade, and everybody got their test, and they had to take it home to get signed, and one kid didn't get a good grade on it. So he signed it himself, and he brought it back in, and he just wrote "mommy" on it.
Now, was that?
They had an 8th grade reunion, like a 40th 8th grade reunion, and the teacher came and she still had the test signed "mommy."
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. That is. I know we're veering down a different path here, but did that show come out before Travolta was a superstar? Is that the show that made him famous?
Yeah, that was his debut. That was where people got to know him. I'm Vinnie Barbarino.
So that's before Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, because he was singing, a bomb, 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 Barbarino, a bomb, 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 Barbarino, got me rocking, you got me rolling, Barbarino, yeah.
Oh my God. I don't even know the song, but it sounds hilarious.
You couldn't see. I was doing the dance. Yeah, when he got a little happy, he would do the Barbarino song.
Yeah. That's what turned him into a star.
It did. It was his first star vehicle. I mean, people, he was the breakout. There was the Sweat Hogs, right? It was Lawrence Hilton Jacobs as Freddie Boom Boom Washington, Robert Hedges as Epstein, Ron Palillo as Horshack, and Vinnie Barbarino. And as it went along, Barbarino separated himself, as happens in ensembles, and then he went on to great big things.
Whatever happened to Freddie Boom Boom Washington?
I don't know. And it was great. They said, "Why do they call you Boom Boom?" And he would pretend he's playing the bass. So boom, 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 boom. I mean, the show had everything.
Yeah. What's funny is I remember as a kid having a Welcome Back Kotter lunch pail, but I didn't know the show. So I don't know where I got that. If my parents bought it for me or where I got it. But
I have a Welcome Back Kotter lunchbox. My son got it for me for Christmas a few years ago. It sits proudly in my office at Villanova.
Really?
That's awesome.
No thermos.
And then
the lunchbox.
What's his Gabe Kaplan, right?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. He was, and Gabe Kaplan. I probably said it on this show before, but it bears repeating. Had one of the greatest moments of the 1970s, one of the greatest sports moments of the 1970s. In the Battle of the Network Stars, there was a disputed finish in the 4x100 relay, and Gabe Kaplan was challenged by Robert Conrad of Baba Black Sheep, the guy who used to do the commercial, "I dare you to knock this battery off my shoulder," to a one-on-one 100-meter dash, and everybody thought Conrad was going to kill him. Gabe Kaplan dusted him. It was beautiful. And you got Telly Savalas walking around in a red velour tracksuit as the captain of the CBS team, smoking those thin cigarettes. Hey, baby. So it was. Well, I watched it live. I still remember it. It was one of the great moments. I was screaming. My dad's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Gabe Kaplan just won the 100 over Robert Conrad." It once again cemented the fact that my father thought I was an idiot.
That's classic. That's
good stuff. I think Robert Conrad was kind of a jerk, too.
Yes, he was, and that's why it was so delicious that Gabe Kaplan beat him.
There you go.
He is El Hombre.
Gabe Kaplan went on. One last thing. He went on to star in one of the more forgettable movies in the 70s called Fast Break, where he was a coach of a basketball team that he recruited a bunch of kids from this inner city to come play for him. It was horrible, but of course I saw it in the theater.
Of course you did. He is El Hombre, Michael Bradley, with us each and every week. You find him here Tuesdays at 5 o'clock. You can find him on Twitter at Daily Hombre. Michael, as always, great stuff. We appreciate you, my friend. We'll talk to you next week.
So long, suckers.
There you go. If you missed any part of El Hombre, you can find him on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. The Mariners are hosting the Padres tonight. The T-Mobile Park roof will most certainly be open. It is warm outside, a beautiful summer night. So that is the Mariners Roof Report, brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Call it now, Dave. Mariners win or lose tonight. Luis Castillo.
Win, baby. They're going to win.
Does Luis give us 6?
Castillo's going to give us 6.
He's going to rebound.
He's going to get a quality start.
All right, I'm hoping that's exactly what happens. All right, our thanks to Charlie Furbush and El Hombre, Michael Bradley. If you missed any part of the show, head to the podcast page at seattlesports.com. Click the podcast tab. Click on our picture. It's right there waiting for you. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here with Wyman and Bob.
And the pitch on the way to Junior.
It's been 27 years since a Mariners slugger has reached the half-century mark.
Breaking ball, belted into the upper deck.
Look out, Junior. You've got company.
Upper deck, goodbye baseball, number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
This is where you hear Cal's quest for 56.
Magical.
And the Mariners push to the playoffs. Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bail Arm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bailarm.com today.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
Find out more at silverreefcasino.com.
Overburdened with a bunch of stuff you don't want anymore, but feel bad throwing it away? John here with Happy Hauler, Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. We prioritize donating and recycling. We'll help get your items to those in need instead of going to the landfill. At Happy Hauler, we pride ourselves on responsibility, community, and sustainability. We're a family-run small business that provides junk removal, donations, and recycling. Make yourself, your community, and the planet happy. It's time to reclaim your space. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
Beat rising costs at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. For a limited time, get a 20% inflation discount and enjoy easy 18-month free financing with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest. Details at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway, because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed, all in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data, except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards, USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
From the roof to the
deck, the siding to the gutters, and energy-efficient windows, State Roofing and Exteriors is your one-stop shop for home protection. With over 55 years serving Western Washington, we don't just work here, we live here. We know what your home is up against when the cold sets in and the rain starts falling. Right now, we're making it easier than ever to get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Let's go!
This is Seattle